how's everybody doing? Welcome to the DST show. We are live somewhere in the world. Besides that, how's everybody doing? I wonder if everybody's gonna have a great Memorial Day in the near future. Hope you guys had a good Mother's Day, had a good break. Knicks are up 2 in the series, baby. We got Saturday night main event for WWE May 23rd. The road to Saturday night main event to the road to Clash in Italy, where you have to pay a whole mortgage just to make pasta with Liv Morgan's arm sweat. Like, come on. Just tell me which bright idea over in TKO makes more sense to you guys. But it's good to be back. Hope you guys are having a terrific weekend. I know WWE has been hectic to watch, but we are here. We're chilling. We valid. And we have a bunch of more releases. We won't have probably a clean slate of new WWE talent to depart. There's a couple that we can go over the roster itself and see who would need to leave. And it's not out of pure malice, but it's obviously over the cost-cutting strategy after, I think the biggest departure in WWE this year has been, and I'm not counting retirements, I would say Kairi Sane. Creative, it would be over ageist concern, but it sounds like it's more personal knowing her ex-husband's in here on the developmental evil that's named after a main bad guy from Inuyasha. If you guys watch an old 90s anime, back in the Toonami days, they were airing them. But don't worry, we'll get over to watch the Knicks soon. Oh, Jay Cargill's doing of course a Michael Jackson reference. Of course, knowing how much they're probably going to milk over the property of Michael Jackson. The craziest thing, he still popped the charts and beat weekly streams from Drake's 3-album pullout after like a year of waiting. Meacham dressed in Smooth Criminal, knowing she still can't get over. So it's gonna be Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss against Jade Cargill, Meacham. Who's the other chick? Who's the other chick? I forgot who was in Jade Cargill's impromptu faction to get heat on Rhea Ripley. That had to be the most ass pull faction when Jade Cargill already looks like $1 million. I never got the logic for that booking style. I just feel like we need to get heat, and obviously the fans are going to pull over with Rhea because because she has a major fan base. So obviously, I feel like the strategic standpoint, the black girl gets to heat. What the fuck? Yeah. I went to college just to book this crap. This is why SmackDown came from 3 hours, because they were losing money. And then they knew they were losing more eyes when they went back to 3 hours. So what's the plan? Go back to 2 hours. That was part of the plan, right? No, it wasn't. I'm sure their plan was to probably try to capitalize, knowing damn well strategically a 3-hour show that people already don't want to waste their time with around the weekend is going to be worth anything. All right, B-Fab, because she's with Meacham. She's still in the roster? She is such a manager, gang. You're not a muscle mommy, you're not Asian, you're not going to get far. or you're not aesthetically pleasing to the petite overall majority, unless you're Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, or Alexa Bliss type shit. Currently, Rhea Ripley manhandling on B-Fab and tagging in Alexa. Irish whipping her over to B-Fab, tilt-a-whirl, underhand Hurricane Rana. And now Meacham coming in to the fanfare of nobody. Nobody. You know what's crazy? Whenever we know how over you are when the fans are like, come on, man. You can't be releasing them. We need depth in the women's division. Was she a key contributor? No. You guys just don't want to see people lose their jobs, and I respect that. But don't lie to me like you were a real fan of some of these female wrestlers. Who? Dude, we already had too many belts to even establish. Who'd really care if Meacham was women's United States champion because she's in the Raw SmackDown brand? Oh, and then an assist drop kick over by Charlotte Flair from Alexa Bliss. And a big boot over the counter coming from Meacham. How was the Michael Jackson movie, by the way, if anybody over in the chat watched it? I hear kind of mixed reviews, but everybody, the audience that regularly watches it seems to enjoy it, while they're saying the critiques just questioned it. I feel like they were just it looks like they were missing another key part of Michael Jackson's life, and that's not Diana Ross, but Janet Jackson. One of the second biggest Jackson in the Jackson family, for being honest. And I heard she didn't even want to be affiliated with the movie because they know they're milking off her brother. Oh, handspring clothesline. It is so ill-advised. Next to the tilt-a-whirl roundhouse kick. And you 6'5". I hate when wrestlers do that, gang. That's got to be the most ill-advised move to do as a big man. A big boot never gets old in wrestling. I never know why you guys try to stand off of doing a maneuver that's gonna look good, going to look painful, and always gonna make you look powerful. I never get, oh, but you want to show that you're agile as well. There's ways to make you look agile. Look at Bray Wyatt when he was displayed on the main roster. He was unorthodox, fast, athletic, shown to hit surprise attacks, agile. Brother was doing a running crossbody, and it looked completely painful. He made looking agile and powerful incredible and unpredictable. That's the way to illustrate your moveset and show your character at the same time in the ring. You don't see that anymore. Rest in peace, by the way, to Bray Wyatt. Now tagging in the double move, a double Irish with Jay Cargill about to get involved. I am lagging a lot in this stream right here. Give me a second. Cavs are down 2 in the series. Oh, the game started. All right, let me get that going too. All I want to he don't really care about us. Oh, and also congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. And if y'all know why the Gooners, I mean the Gunners, I hate it why British people say that, gang. I hate why British people say that. Arsenal, if everybody doesn't know, the Premier League soccer team, Arsenal. They've waited a long time. They've been in the 22-year drought since 2004. The unbeatable, invincible team that went back in 2004. It's been a league title drought for them since 2000 for 22 years. They've broke that streak after Manchester City drew. And now they're the official Premier League champions. Tomorrow will be their last game, and then they have their Champions League final match against PSG before the World Cup. That will hold guys over before the tournament starts in 18 plus days. So I'm already ready. I'm probably going to ship in my U.S. national team jersey in probably the next few days when the tournament starts. And we'll probably do some streams if possible. Try to get some soccer-related streams going on. Meacham going for the cover. 2. Barely a 2 count. But currently, the Knicks are starting off hot. Yo, the Cavs suck. Goddamn. I saw when Brunson was matching up over with James Harden. I'm about to say, Kenny, Yo, coach cannot be this inept. It's like, hey, let's match you up with the least athletic, defensively disciplined guard on the team, James Harden, and it's showing that the stream's a bit behind. Mikal Bridges blowing by. We're gonna make Cleveland look like a home court advantage. Hey, attacks over to the rim. Donovan Mitchell. I guess he missed one because it's showing it's 9-1. I'll get the screen sharing right here. You think this is going to be a sweep, or the Cavs are going to make a miraculous comeback around this series? Game 2 or game 3 or game 4? Anything is possible. Hell, the Thunder might actually get an advantage over the Spurs. Defense. Oh, attacking the rim. Brunson again, just burning the Cavs defense, man. And I thought DeAndre Hunter was supposed to be a big acquisition for them to be a key piece offensively. Harden catching over the double, swings Donovan Mitchell, kicks out over to Evan Mobley. That was making some late threes, but he shouldn't be the primary focus for three-point shots. Swings out, up and under, take inside. Let's go, Mikal. Attack that basket. Oh my goodness. Timeout, Cavaliers. You are not fucking clapping at a 1-point start. You guys have 1 point of offense after timeout. That's crazy work, coach. Absolutely abysmal start for the Cavs, but guess what? My Knickerbocker showing why it's not a slur. My Knicks killing it. We came from Reggie Bullock, Damian Dotson, motherfucking Dwayne Dedman, Julius Randle. I'm kidding. Bobby Portis became an NBA champion. I'm not going to roast him. But obviously, people thought they were going to get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving at the same season until they forgot that we were a factory of sadness for 50 years. So this is probably the best Knicks team you will have to see since the 95-94 season when we were making it to conference finals and we were matching up with Hakeem Olajuwon if it wasn't for terrible shooting. Hell, we weren't even getting back-to-back 50-win seasons since the 95-94 season, 94-95 season. 2, 3, no, kick out by Meacham. And Jay Cargill was late to break the pinfall. So what was the point? I can every day. There's nothing in my brain. That's what people say. Ooh. Yeah, not the best start for the Cavaliers. Their inefficiency behind the arc, and they were just poorly defending, gang. Nah, gang. Why is this in my Twitter? Oh, we got the Triple H starter pack on X, ladies and gentlemen. New era. Fuck LA Knight winning Money in the Bank. U.S. Open Challenge. Cody Rhodes bodied, betrayed. He's treated as the modern day Sting, but he's never over. Bloodline tropes. Slim Jim everywhere, and a masked man. Oh, and ChatGPT. You forgot that. He took over creative back, head of creative back in 2022, July 25th. One and no one had a problem with the booking. Rock officially joined TKO in 2024 and appointed the company board of directors. Here's where the problem started. Yeah, because I think around 2023 it was still incredibly watchable until like 2024. And as soon as The Rock was just getting affiliated over with TKO over creative concerns, no shows, poor rescheduling. John Cena's farewell could have had longer angles to initiate more guys to get illustrated instead of him just getting appointed shorted days. So you get lack of hype. Yo, bro, don't let me go over the farewell because you guys were trying to be like, oh, it's all about the poetic emotion because John Cena never gave up. No one had an issue with him getting somebody over. Everybody had a fucking issue with him burying Gunter's finish. Gunter looks like more of a chump because it looks like John Cena was just tired. That didn't make Gunter look even more threatening at the end of the day. Now he's an afterthought. Have to pull the weird ass wild card rule that you haven't seen since 2019 for him to go to SmackDown so he can get buried by Cody. Gunter's not a fucking threat, even if he wins the world title. Kicks out. Brunson for 3 after timeout. Air ball. Jesus. Come on, Jay. Maybe come an elimination game, I wear my jersey. Oh, down. Good kick out over James Harden to dish it out baseline for the jam from Jared Allen to finally get some points on the board. Cavaliers with a 1-9 start. Knicks were just dominating in the first few minutes. Under 9. Hart takes it. Spin. Fadeaway jumper. Rattles the rim. It's good. Josh Hart pulling his best Kobe impression. Former Laker, and he's showing it too. Donovan Mitchell pulling the spider webs. Hey, wait. Spider? New York Knicks? What could have happened with the marketing? That would have been us, but it's okay. We got Jalen Brunson. We're good, Donovan. We're good. Oh, trying to head up over to the screen, but Donovan Mitchell looks like he took an illegal shot with his legs going under Mikal Bridges. So who are we expecting to be the predominant 3-point threat? Because they're still with this front court of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And look, I understand they're two proven defensive bigs, but Dean Wade, why not just stretch for Max Strus? I mean, keep doing what you're doing. I remember when you guys barely took a timeout at the fourth quarter for us to come back at that 22-point deficit because y'all got too comfortable game 1. So I'm gonna just take it with a grain of salt. Oh, attacking around the rim and okay, Brunson's on the line. You have to lead by 3 at least. And oh my God, put the camera on Taylor. Put the camera on Taylor. Put the camera on Taylor. Hey Travis, put the camera on Taylor. Take your meds, honey. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's in the building. They had to pay these niggas to come in. I'm on top. We are on me. Brunson will mark 1. This had to be an industry stunt because how much New York celebrities were just overshadowing the audience. Cavaliers wearing their old school 2007 alternate uniforms because somehow NBA tries not to rebrand and actually make the jerseys personality wise and just make them look templated as fuck. Here comes, attacking around the rim. Harden gets rejected by Mikal Bridges. The putback by Evan Mobley to put this back to a point deficit. Josh Hart in the middle of transition slows up the tempo, hands it off. Mikal Bridges kicks out to Josh Hart. Steps up with Jared Allen off the perimeter. Takes the screen. Pulling up from the pick and pop. Mikal Bridges with the offensive rebound after a jumper missed by Brunson. Clanks the rim. Hart finds OG Anunoby. Trying to push off the back step. It's good for 2 from OG. Top of the morning. 12-9 to start around the over the first quarter. Oh! Donovan Mitchell drops Josh Hart off the shove off. Collects himself after the dribble. Trying to do a Euro. Pull up jumper. Good off Mikal Bridges. That's the only. Thank you, Mikal. Play like Sean Livingston. I don't need you to be that 3 and D that you were in Phoenix. Just stretch, defend, pause on that last part, but you guys catch my drift if you guys watch Warriors basketball back in 2018. I understand that was a dark time of the NBA when it came to the postseason. 2018, 2019 NBA basketball was actually very entertaining. I loved watching every regular season game. Maybe because I was a kid and that was just when I had more time to myself. Pull up jumper. Oh, rattle around the rim. It's good for 2. The Knicks still showing up pretty well. Oh, and I'm actually pulling up more cooking things. I'm more alone. Hey, and it's good at attacking around the inside. Donovan Mitchell. That's probably going to be the be all or end all, unless we're counting unsung heroes like Keon Ellis. Oh, good backdoor cut. The kick out over from Brunson from OG Anunoby. Swats it back over to Towns to attack the rim. Puts it back in. It's going to be a foul. The big purr's going to get on the line. Respect the Bodega Cat, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. Now, it's got to be a nightmare fuel to know. Like, that's the level of NBA talent now. Like, AJ Tapansa is probably the same size as OG Anunoby. And he can do stuff, like, quicker. Y'all saw that clip of what he was doing to Blackboy Max, I think his name is. He's a notable streamer on Twitch. Yeah, he was cooking the hell out of that poor guy. Like, and Blackboy Max, the guy's probably like 5'9", 5'8", so he's obviously not a very tall individual compared to an NBA level prospect. But what I saw in that video, man, I don't even do that to my little brother when I cook him in basketball, man. Because I can't dunk, obviously, and that's already definitive. But besides that, like, poor bastard. Poor bastard. The guy goes getting backward dunked on like he was Shaq. Like he was 2002 Yao Ming. Getting a backward dunk on and then he's hitting you with a one-legged jumper from the wing is just brutal. Harden, 360 off the screen, taking a 2-pointer over Brunson. 2 cones on defense in an ISO game. And here comes the Euro, the shove off, possible offensive foul on Dean Wade. Max Drew seems to rotate in. So it's Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, Max Drews because he looks like Rubio. He's pushing off the Euro and it looks like he's going to take a... Oh, God. Oh, rough. Jesus Christ. Brother got taken care of like a crash test dummy. And Ethan Page getting interviewed for his Intercontinental Championship opportunity for the first time since getting called up to the main roster against Penta. Probably going to end in a run-in. I doubt that they'll push over a title change immediately. Even though Ethan Page, him debuting and picking up a win against a guy like Penta and trying to push over for an angle with Javon Evans, I feel like that's the best move. I have Ethan Page getting the upset, actually, and sneaking a win out of hijinks alone. I like Ethan Page. I'm shocked how much he's came up from a TNA Tag Team Champion to the main roster, so I hope he does it because I do like his segments and him like more screen time. That would do decent entertainment numbers for WWE. Good inside the bucket. Touchdown pass. OG Anunoby taking the bump, and he'll get fouled by Dean Wade. Attacking around the rim. Touchdown pass off the inbound. Taking off the shove, and Dean Wade takes down OG Anunoby. He's getting on the line. It's good. If you guys, depending on how much you guys love the player, like what's the most like out of left field basketball shoe you guys got? Because I know my cousin owned a pair of Shaqs. I think one pair of Shaqs in his life. Not when he was with Reebok. After he made his own independent brand, and then he bought Reebok. Harden sizing up with taking a half court press off the flare screen, off the roll, Step back three from Harden. Offensive rebound by Max Strus. Pull up over baseline. Taking the pump fake. Merrill for three. Missing Josh Hart with the defensive rebound. Clanks the rim. Mamma mia. 0 for 4 from the field has been the Cavaliers to start the season. Oh, the snatchback pump. Swing to Hart. That's been making more threes lately. He dropped like 26 game two. Brunson misses another three. Can't get the offensive rebound as Karl Anthony Towns. If anybody's in the chat, please let me know. I'm trying to pay attention and I can't. I don't know how to. Oh God, I think I should know how to do this. Right here, my fault. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. This probably needs to calibrate. Oh, Deuce McBride's in. Jared Allen taking it inside, trying to attack around the rim, and it's going to be a what? A goaltend? It'll be a goaltend on Karl Anthony Towns, trying to attempt over the block after the blow by Jared Allen. That I swear to God, that brother never changes his shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, comfortability is everything. What did he do? How does he customize his Kyrie threes? If you guys don't remember, Kyrie's third sneaker came out back in 2000. What? When he left the, I know it was when he left the Cavaliers to play with the Boston Celtics after trading away Isaiah Thomas. Still the weirdest decision, but I know that was a personal decision for Kyrie Irving. But that wasn't my favorite shoe to come out of Kyrie when he was still with Nike brand. I think that was the Kyrie sixes. But I do like his newer shoes. I actually have a pair of his recent shoe. It even came with an accessory that became a keychain, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, Soruka versus Becky Lynch for the women's IC title is next. Excuse me, folks. Let me refill my water real quick, and I'll be right back. We had a mandatory timeout just used. Sorry, try to rush in this as quick as possible this time. Let me use the restroom. All right, now we back after the mandatory timeout made. After commercial, missing pump fakes. Harden off the Euro. Balls after the kick out from Harden trying to attack the rim, trying to give it to Strus. Mikal Bridges with the last touch with the deflection. Towns, look at this Harden. All up in Towns. Fadeaway one-legged jumper. Ooh, from the baseline. Mamma mia. I don't know what came in with Towns. Her brother was playing like a black Jokic. Distributing around the floor. All right. I ran out of. I gotta wait for the ice to refill, so I'm using frozen fruit. Not forbidden. Landry Shamitz checking in. The 3.5. Catching off the pump fake. Taking over from the Euro. Attacking over the rim. Max Strus with a bit of contact on Towns. Let's see what's going on with Sol Ruka versus Becky Lynch. Goes into the ropes. Counters. Oh, the referee's down. The referee's down. Well, who's this? Oh, Becky Lynch retains. A tough loss. A tough loss for Sol Ruka. You think she's going to change the Soul Sinatra? Max Strus knocks it down. Floater game. Towns with the push. Good board. Finally, Harden's checking off. So it's European journeyman Dennis Schroeder taking over. Spider kicks out. Back to Schroeder. Now Miles McBride. Step back. Pull up. Mid-range is good from Donovan Mitchell. Which series will go longer? The Thunder and Spurs, or it's going to be Knicks and Cavaliers? Nice three from Deuce McBride. Pull-up jumper off the hesitation from Dennis Schroeder. Kicks out Mobley. Ball nearly gets loose. Three-pointer on the wing. Schroeder got to give it up or shoot it. Gives it to Mobley, attacking around the rim, stuck with Towns. Three-pointer from Strus again. Rebound by Brunson. Towns pulls up from the transition. Misses the three. Mitchell gets it back to move up. Pull-up jumper from mid-range. And it's going to be a foul. How WWE does it always get agonizing? I know the audience got to learn. That's the whole point of commentary. But you know the first thing that's going to come out of Michael Cole's mouth is, did you know the first Intercontinental Champion was Pat Patterson? Three-pointer. It knocks it down. Shot clock cheese. 27-34. Well, under a minute remaining. Three-pointer. Hart puts it back. 10-point lead by the Knicks. And an illegal screen by Evan Mobley. Get that thug out of the heat. Yeah, elbowed the shit out of Landry Shamet. Jesus. Fuck you, Evan. Oh, I thought that was... The jingle almost reminded me of my air fryer. Three-pointer. Pull-up jumper. Oh, good. Off the pump fake. McBride. Rebound. Towns puts it back before the shot clock. 4 seconds left into the first quarter. 4 seconds. Collect the dribble to buy some time on the clock. Baseline, no good. 12-point lead for the Knicks to start off the game. That's our Knickerbockers, Jim. Made my mistake last time. But a hot start. Let's see if we can tire out the front court. Because I know they're going to try to push more of the outside game off Evan Mobley, even though that's outside of his skill gap. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be probably the most legacy-oriented conference finals for both franchises in years. Spurs, I'm sure they're going to try to rebuild their dominance from what they were back in the 2000s to they dominated technically late at the end of the 90s, predominantly more of the 2000s era, 4 NBA championships. If we want to count also 2014 when they were relatively around the 2010s, still a collective, reputable playoff to championship level threat every season until probably give or take 2017, around the time Kawhi Leonard left for the Toronto Raptors. The Thunder, if they beat the Spurs, will probably beat whoever's coming out of the East and become a dynasty. Or the Cavaliers can finally get that shadow of being a LeBron James team out of their heads for the next several years. And then don't forget the Knicks 50-year championship drought, making it back to the finals since 99. I was born that same year, the time when they were coming out of half a season because of the lockout, and they finally made it until they had to play against the San Antonio Spurs, twin towers of Tim Duncan and David Robinson. That is so much basketball, by the way. Oh my God, that I just referenced. Holy shit. Besides that, very impactful. No Steph Curry, no LeBron James, and you're still getting great hoops. You love to see it. I mean, I love to see it because, of course, it involves the Knicks. Oh, let me see if my chicken's done in the air fryer. Let me get back to you guys in just a moment because first time I'm using cottage cheese for pasta. What's poppin', Crazy Juice? I apologize. I had to dish out my own food today. Meal prepping was a bit simple, but we killing it. Hope you guys could pull it off. I really want to, Crazy Juice. 50 years, man. That's 2 generations for some people out there. I don't know what would be more of a satisfying victory. Beating a franchise like the Spurs or the Thunder if it ever happens. All I'm wishing, it's not at home court. Because they're just, the Knicks fans are going to get through security. Yeah, I should have chopped the chicken. I should have chopped it. Somewhat overcooked. Oh my god. What an up and under take by Josh Hart. 41-32. Seeing how everybody was clowning Towns over these past couple of years, and after how Julius Randle performed in the playoffs, who won that trade again? I'm just asking questions. Hook shot and sinker. Offensive rebound attempted over by Jared Allen. They call a foul on that? What? Loose ball or some shit? What is that? I could have put this on Twitch too. I never thought I'd have so much fun cooking by myself. Oh, come on. GTA 5. How did that? Oh, trying to dish it out to underhand pass it to Mitchell Robinson. Oh, ball's loose. Jordan Clarkson. Locked down. Donovan Mitchell loses his dribble. Man, fuck Coco Jones. I'm joking. I'm not like the New York fans over in fadeaway short range jumper from Mikal Bridges back and forth. Okoro dishes it over to the. Oh no, I forgot Isaac Okoro's not on the Cavaliers anymore. That's Ryan. Ball's loose. Maybe I should add some cayenne next time to the cheese sauce. Oh, bricks. Rebound by Jared Allen for the offensive board. Ryan? No, that's Tyson. The Thunder is the best team. Crazy Juice? You think they have a fatal flaw? Because outside of everybody else in the playoffs, the Spurs have more of a reasonable chance to push this to one of the greatest 7-game series I've ever seen. And they do have a good record against them in the regular season. Ball's picked up. Wade. Oh, overhead pass. Ball kicked out over by Mitchell Robinson. Harden thought he found a dime right there until the disruption. Donovan Mitchell got to sit. You know damn well this guy's going to be carrying offensive load. I remember one of the hottest takes. Is Donovan Mitchell really supposed to be commanding number one option? And one! Tyson gets the bucket and the extra. Ego. Oh, attack around the rim. Pull up jumper from come on. We shouldn't be getting used to bricks, guys. Come on. And Harden scores again. Brunson. Personal foul. What? Timeout after the turnover. Ball went out of bounds. Harden picking up where the Cavs left off in the third after a 12-point deficit. The closest pushing it to 2. Nearing a lead change. Harden there for his... And Travis Kelce celebrating for a former Arizona State alumni. Yeah, James Harden came from Arizona State. That actually made me wake up my mind for the correlation. Yeah, the Thunder is a team to beat, man. I forgot the parchment paper for my air fryer, so now I gotta clean it. But dinner is great. Oh my god. Just add some low-fat cheese, some cottage cheese, some seasoning, some good-ass chicken. You can still make food taste good, and if you guys are in the weight loss journey, shout out to YTC. You stay active and just eat the right shit. Sometimes at the same time, you'll end up looking a bit better. Hopefully I do around the middle of the summer. I don't want to get a six-pack, but I do want to look better in some clothes. So, guys, if you could control it, please do not binge eat. By the way, I saw a Tua Tagovailoa jersey going for barely $20 on Fnatic. So, if you just want to represent the Miami Heat and you don't want to break the bank, just get a Tua jersey for $20, gang. That won't set you back. Hell, you know how to save your money? Get you an old City jersey and make sure that shit got your last name on it. You know, I was so upset when PJ Tucker retired because I didn't mind getting a PJ Tucker jersey. And now he's gone, and now I gotta pay an extra couple bucks to put my freaking last name on a basketball jersey. Donovan Mitchell heading to the tunnel. Hopefully he's okay. Bank shot's good. Trailing by 4 of the Cavaliers. Harden going to be the predominant offensive force. Pull-up jumper. Rattle around the rim until it's back through the net. It's good for a 3 from James Harden. Hart. Swings. OG for 3. Let's go. Four-point deficit. Harden is going off. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Up and under, and is good off the putback score from the big fro, Jared Allen. Up the post. Washington over the help defense. Spin out down the lane. OG Anunoby doesn't get a call. Shout out to Scott Foster. Hey, it's good. It's good for 2. Harden really picking up the pace. Donovan Mitchell can try to take some recovery a bit easy. Cavaliers finally getting a deficit where it's tied. Guys, what are we doing? Down the lane. And it's, oh my God, Mikal. Burgered the fucking lay. To the inside. Tyson for 3. No good. Ball poked up. It's a rebound from Josh Hart. Down Mikal Bridges. OG up the corner. Hesitates. Down the lane. Taking the contact. It's good. Jesus Christ. But he's on the line this time. John Jay, what's poppin'? Oh, out of association. Poor bastard. out of association. San Francisco Giants, brother, 2, man. You know, it's cool. Oh, and Crazy Juice, I think the Double or Nothing pay-per-view is tomorrow night as well. Sadly, I won't be available because I got work around that time. But I think I'll cover the Premier League season. I'm going to see if I can go to the gym around like 4 a.m. and see if I can track back so we can cover the final day because Arsenal will be winning. I guess they'll be lifting the trophy the final day. because of their win and Man City's draw. I forgot who's a Man City fan. Isn't it good, own kid? Screen coming from Towns. Brunson tied up 50 apiece. Towns matched up with Dean Wade up the baseline. Whipped the help defense from Jared Allen. Catching, pump fake, down the kick out. Mikal Bridges to OG Anunoby. No call. No fucking call on the 3-point shot. Are you kidding me? Up the post. Kicks out over to Dean Wade for 3. Oh, snatched by Jalen Brunson over Jared Allen of all people? And he'll blow by James Harden. Jalen Brunson been treating James Harden like a traffic cone the entire season. I mean, the entire series so far. But we know James Harden always had a reputation of being a black hole defensively. That's been going on since he's taken over. And it sucks too because I'm a massive James Harden fan since he came to the Houston Rockets. I mean, I seen him when he was a younger player, but when he was a superstar, he was a Houston Rocket. From scoring titles to averaging 40 to MVP season, I was there for all of it, man. Watching James Harden was too much fun. And I'm an avid collector of basketball shoes, so I have a couple Hardens. I had the volume 2s, but those broke apart because I used them outside. Yeah, current basketball shoes are not meant for outside, ironically. Chinese brand, yes. Nike, they predominantly make their shoes for indoors. So if you ever see me with a new pair of Nikes, for basketball, I am wearing them predominantly at the gym. 3.5 remaining here in the first half. And the Cavaliers have battled back after a double-digit deficit. Donovan Mitchell seems to not be well. And Harden's heading back on the line after attacking around the rim again. John Jay, I don't even want to be worried about our schedule also. If you saw the Niners schedule, God forbid you're a Jets fan. Ooh, God forbid. Ooh. 13 points, going 6 of 9 from the field. Harden having a better half of basketball than the last 2 games of the series. At least he's at double digits. Shout out to Mike Brown. He looks like a milk dud, but he's bringing us our second straight appearance to the conference finals. Oh! And a kick out of the schoolboy off Ethan Page. Ethan Page thought he was going to be the new Intercontinental Champion. Penta. Can't use his full government. Yo, whoa. Oh, that's a massive accusation there, Crazy Juice. John J. I don't hate myself that much. I don't hate myself that much. I did lose a bet, so yes. Sadly for the season, I'm going to be. But it's okay. I've seen the Jet. I've grown up with the Jets suffering my entire life. So it's just gonna, it's just like gonna be moving to a new place. I'm kidding. I'm at the same place. Oh! Unsupervised turnbuckle. The referee delayed the time of the pinfall, or else Ethan Page could have been the new Intercontinental Champion. Mexican Destroyer off the springboard is insanity. Pentagon retained. I thought Ethan Page would get the upset. Pentagon retained, I think, and Becky Lynch retained. You have no title changes, and this is the whole card is just retains on PLE. I understand if you want to make Sol Ruca not get over Becky, but I don't think it would be a bad thing if Penta lose the Intercontinental Championship to a new up-and-comer that obviously has the presence of Ethan Page. I feel like he's a good heel. Oh, hell no. You know, I was curious. How did Ram Fams take the new contract from Matthew Stafford? Because didn't he get $100 million deal? That sounds like hush money to me after getting Ty Simpson. If that's the case, I don't think I got much information on that. Hey, yo, that's brutal. 98 playoff wins. As much as Karl Malone one finals appearance after losing to the Heatles, Big Three, James Harden's playoff career has been mixed at most of his career, man. Knicks lead by 2. He'll get on the line. And it sucks too, because Harden is such a juggernaut offensively in the regular season. Also, Ruka, also Cal teams except the American football are better than the San Francisco team. That's an opinion. That's an opinion. I'm not getting into this. You West Coast people, y'all can fight amongst yourselves. Last time I checked, I don't think I see a SoCal team making it to the finals this year. Hey, attack of the rim. Let's go hard. Off a turnover. Let's go. 2.5 remaining here in the first half. Let them fight amongst themselves. I'm gonna lie to the fact that Draymond Green's getting a new contract extension. Oh, put back. Towns, one-handed finish. Come on up the fucking post. Use the glass. Why is it so uncool to use something that's used for basketball? Use the backboard, Towns. I swear the efficiency would be so more impactful for Karl if he just abused the backboard. I know it's not sexy, but it's there. Worst wrestling games of all time. AEW Fight Forever. They're still adding content. WWE 2K20. WCW Backstage Assault. WWF Raw for the Xbox. WCW versus the World. That's insane. WrestleMania 2000. Ooh, that's fighting words. That's fighting words for some OGs out there. ECW Hardcore Revolution. Heard that game was trash. WCW Nitro. When did that come out? WrestleMania 21. That was like GameCube. And the Royal Rumble. On the Dreamcast. Harden moving up the court. 148 kicks out over to Max Struess. Back over to Jared Allen. Oh, he'll dime it. Why try to dime it to the inside? Baseline attack over the rim. Mitchell takes contact. He's getting on the line. Hey, it happens. Crazy juice. It happens. I'm not saying basketball gods hate you, but they got the under. They got the under. Hey, basketball gods hated us for 50 years. This is reparations. You know how long? I'm sorry to reference something from back in the day, but all's my life I had the fight. All's my life I had the fight. You know how long I waited for this? The Warriors had their era back then when they were blowing out teams by 30 and doing windmill dunks at the end of games. You know, when the Warriors were doing warm-ups before the game and they were just messing around, Steph Curry bringing her freaking daughter doing foul shots while Klay Thompson playing with his freaking dog up the bench and Kevin Durant talking with Draymond Green. They were treating the regular season like a goddamn sideshow. Watching Globetrotter 3 West Coast air raid offense for the last 5 seasons was probably the worst NBA Finals I've seen, because we know the Warriors were going to either win, be in the conference finals, or absolutely dominate the Cavaliers. Between the legs, I think the only likable team around that era Steph Curry joined the team was probably 2015 when Steph Curry was becoming a unanimous MVP, and 2022 when they proven their doubters wrong. And you can at me at that. And how that offense is so revolutionized. The 2026 Charlotte Hornets is probably a better offense than your 70-win team back in 2016. Oh, hell no. Nah. I don't even want to imagine that being a logic. All due respect to Steph. Trailed by 9 after they were closing the gap by a 2-point deficit. Donovan Mitchell snatched back off between the legs, 3-pointer from 3 from the wing. You can hate me now, but I won't stop now. You can hate me now. 15 left into the first half. OG Anunoby. Oh, I understand you have to kick out to find the pass, but guys, all because we can push for the kick out does not mean you're not 6'7". That's not even a meme at that point, guys. Come on. "2026 FIFA World Cup is in North America in '94. FIFA." So, I'm sorry, that was probably a typo. I'm sorry. These Knicks were in the final. History could repeat itself. It could be. We were also in the final back in '99. But that was during the lockout season. People are not going to give us a grace except when Latrell Sprewell assaulted the coach. Shout out to the Sprewells when you had the wheel spinning on the fucking shoe. I blame Jeannie Buss for her dumb sibling and the Lakers downfall. Oh, let's get rid of LeBron James. You can finally orchestrate a legitimate team. This is not going to be like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the time when Magic Johnson joined the Lakers. Oh, shout out to Winning Times. I watched that. That actually made me enjoy hearing about the Lakers for once. When they were going, the Winning Times was displaying the Showtime Lakers era to the time when Magic Johnson came out of his championship game against Larry Bird when he was in Michigan State playing against Indiana to. I think they ended at season 2 when they beat the Celtics in the NBA Finals. I think that was 1981 or 1982. Because I think what was Magic Johnson's first season, like 79, and that was when they beat the Dr. J led 76ers back when they were making it to the championship game. When they were actually championship, contenders, when they actually looked good. I know. You guys love to suffer. Hell, the Clippers are just there to make sure you guys remember that you guys were not high-class citizens. Shout out to the Clippers, the LA Clippers' best GM. Was he GM or owner? That was Donald Sterling more of an owner or a GM? When he was shown to be a fascist, racist. After Dr. Bust passed away, everything fell apart. When did Dr. Bust pass away? Jerry Bust, right? (2013). Motherfucker, you guys just won a title back in 2020. That was under a decade ago. You know what's the craziest part? And look, I understand we tried to say it's a bubble title, nobody was there, it was unsanctioned. You guys all still played basketball. There was less outside interference. There's literally no excuse how you couldn't win a championship. Unless you had COVID. Shout out to Rudy Gobert. Piece of shit. I be goddamned. I never expected to actually enjoy cottage cheese sauce on my pasta, and I enjoyed it. It was like low fat and enjoyable. I loved it. Oh, and shout out to the Gooners. Arsenal. And Gooners is just their nickname. I'm not calling everybody in North London perverts. Even though they are. But this is Judgment Free Zone, the DSG channel. Yeah, 22-year championship drought. God damn, Arsenal. And I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up with the Invincibles because I was like 5 years old when they won the last time they won the Premier League. It was when they had Mesut Ozil, Alexis. Shout out to Alexis Sanchez. That guy was so awesome. He was so awesome, Alexis Sanchez. Instead of like Thierry Henry, they had Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Another great player, if you guys remember him. He was actually French, but he went to play for his African nation, Gabon, so he never played for the French team. But you had Alexander Lacazette, Olivier Giroud. I think Matteo Guendouzi was there. A lot of like good players, but they weren't like top level. So Arsenal had a drought of being a fun watching team, but they were never as good as what they were back in 2004. I think 2006 as well was another good year for Arsenal because I think they made the Champions League final. Yeah, the Buffalo Braves, I remember, relocated to San Diego. And it's like, so what's the hate with San Diego? What West Coast is it like a least profitable team? Isn't that more of an expensive place to live in too, San Diego? Jared Allen was 7. Look at the lack of boards by the front court of Evan Mobley. Like being predominantly more offensive oriented. Like you're seeing Jared Allen attack the rim. Oh, we have the irresistible forces against the current women's tag team champions of Paige and Brie Bella, and they're probably going to lose the titles because look at these women. We know how John Jay feels about big Simone ladies. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, jeez. Oh God. I'm just saying there's a week. Oh my God. You haven't told me next year everyone's favorite team, Liverpool. There is so much Liverpool got to do, especially when the coach that they wanted, I think his name is Xabi Alonso. He used to play. He was supposed to actually come to Liverpool, and now guess where he's going? Chelsea. Yeah, because that's another big team that I'm sure like you guys are familiar with. Todd Bowley, also ahead of things over in Chelsea. If you guys don't know who Todd, I think you John Jay and you crazy juice know who Todd Bowley is. If you guys know the LA Dodgers. Yeah, Liverpool's still ass. Where are they? Sixth place right now in the Premier League. Yeah, but Todd Bowley's like ahead of things over in Chelsea, and when the guy who just coached Real Madrid is coming in to coach Chelsea, and he was like one of the best offensive coaches in the league, like in soccer a few years ago. That's gonna be an insane season because we know Chelsea has the funds to pay for a good contending team. But they had this thing of like always signing like the next young prospect that they can make a profit on, and then they sell them off to like the Saudi Arabian team because they can afford big contracts of declining players. No offense, that's literally what Saudi Arabia is there for. Ronaldo literally is taking that championship win like he was back at Madrid. My final preparations with the man, Becky Lynch. I'm fucking her backstage with my nose. Whoa! Oh wait, no, she doesn't use that song anymore. Oh, Soruka used the Soul Snatcher and got a disqualification. Was the match even that good? So she got the Soul Snatch by accident. Why not Becky just hit her with a surprise attack? Bungie, Marathon, Destiny 2. Yeah, Destiny 2. That if you guys don't remember that game came out like what 2018? I think 2016. Destiny 2 came out back for like the PlayStation 4, and it still made online content for over a decade, and now they're gonna stop around June. Yeah, I think like who's like the most overrated of the and the Lakers? Oh, he's a co-owner. And yeah, he's affiliated with Chelsea, and they spent like £1 billion to make like a moderately overrated, moderately average team. Like they're good enough to stay mid to like Champions League level, but they're not as good as what they were back in 2004. Hell, around like 2016 was probably one of the better Chelsea teams I've ever seen. When they had like Diego Costa and Eden Hazard on the team. Like there were so many good players as well as like N'Golo Kante. That was like 2017 when they had N'Golo Kante. And Eden Hazard before he fell off. He was phenomenal. These guys celebrating a count-out victory. You guys are not champions. If y'all still feeling like you'll get over doing the Lex Luger celebration, I beat Yokozuna, guys. I beat Yokozuna. Yay! It wasn't for the championship, though. Damn shame. It's a damn shame. Let me guess. Lash Legend and Nia Jax became. Oh wait, no, the match is still going. This match should not be this long. All due respect, Paige hasn't wrestled on WWE in years, and she is obviously not that much of a threat for two women that look like they can eat her, especially Nia Jax in one gulp. You're telling me Paige and Brie Bella retain? Why? These bitches don't even have screen time on TV. And you had Lash Legend and Nia Jax lose against two women that are half their size? 1, 2, 3. Oh, a bit of innovation by Paige to get Lash drop kicking her to do a domino effect to break the pin with that assisted leg drop. I'm the hero to save you, and not gonna pin anymore. Oh, excuse me for a second, folks. I have to hydrate a lot. Absolutely not. I know Def Rebel didn't just. Why do they keep doing this? Jim Johnson is Jim Johnson fucking dead? Oh, by the way, the boys season 5 sucks. All due respect. So it looks like Wolverhampton Wanderers, Burnley, and West Ham are going down relegated. Yeah, it's a damn shame too, because if you guys look at Wolves, oh, Tottenham barely survived. Yes, Tottenham. You can blame it on the injuries, but it's been foreshadowed that they were just their foundation in general was just a mess. Tottenham is a mess unless they can find this established foundation where they're not 90% corporate. They could actually be a legitimate Premier League side. They have the facilities, the finances, the lineage. They should be as good as advertised, but every time it just feels like they just like being mediocre when it's obvious they can afford good talent. And this is without Saudi Arabian money, too. Same thing with Newcastle. Newcastle came from being a Champions League level team to just being completely mid with flops all over their team. Wolves, they had no excuse over the past 10 years to get relegated. They've been in the Premier League for like a while. No, crazy juice. Here's the thing. Wolves, you know how many good players they had? They had like Ruben Neves, Pedro Neto, Matthias Cunha. You know he plays for Manchester United now. That was like one of the last decent guys they had. You know who was a guy that they just had nothing to do with? Vitinha. Vitinha, the Portuguese midfielder, he just came from winning a Champions League with PSG just a season ago. Now he's back to the finals. Wolves are their own worst enemy. Hell no, that's embarrassing. And this is the same time Tottenham also, they keep fumbling the bag. And don't get me wrong, that money, that Gareth Bale money, that Luka Modric money, now they look like a legitimate top 6 team. That Kyle Walker money, you see where I'm going at with this? At least Arsenal, after their banter years, before their banter years, they were actually a legitimate team. And then it's like, hey, let's prove that we're here for the long haul. And now they won a Prem. Post up. Oh, balls loose. Let's go. Brunson on the break. I think he was trying to find OG, but he was stuck up the post outside. Donovan Mitchell. Barbecue chicken. Fadeaway jumper. Ooh. Trying to dime it to Mikhail, but nobody was cutting into the inside and miscommunication out of bounds. My name is Paul Heyman. And if you could hear off my second chinny chin chin, how I voided another paycheck to Austin Theory. Oh my god! How many more? How much accessories are supposed to try to give Austin Theory a personality? They give him the chain, then they give him the elbow pads, and now he's looking like a metrosexual Justin Timberlake mixed with Maven. And it sucks too because he's a decent wrestler. I like Logan Paul too, but Logan Paul needed his own faction of cronies. He didn't need to join to be the sideshow. The guy can obviously carry himself. So also the Street Profits are going to be matching up with the Vision for the World Tag Titles, but I think they'll retain. Nothing really changes in these Saturday Night main events. Oh, here comes Hart. 3-pointer. Missing another jumper like that, gang. Making me try to go to Dykeman. And also, we're having those weird ass meme over in the East Coast. I know you guys are not really familiar with East Coast humor when it comes to the corner stores and shit. We have something called chopped cheese. That's like it's like a burger that we chop up to put into a roll of bread with a bunch of condiments, salad, and then the burger meat chopped up, and then we serve it. It's completely greasy. Motherfucker trying to put some grabba on the goddamn thing. And that's the whole meme that's been ruining my feed for the past 3 weeks. And if you guys don't know what grabba is, it's just marijuana. It's just marijuana. Mary Jane. The devil's lettuce. Oh, Euro, balls loose. Oh, and is it going to be back to the Knicks? New York humor is weird. Who went bald? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about Austin Theory. I don't know. Austin Theory is super boring, man. Every time they try to push this guy to have any segments of heat because he can't get over with the phone gimmick, he couldn't get over beating John Cena for the U.S. title. And every time they tried to ignite him with some type of segment, hell, I think the best thing they had for him was 8-Town Down Under with when he was with Grayson Waller, but they wouldn't pull the trigger and give him the tag titles. Or they did do it, or they just didn't give him screen time. And when Vince had him, he kept putting him in segment. Hell, it wouldn't even surprise me if Vince is in Gorilla, but he's just a liaison. That's why you're hearing rumors of Baron Corbin probably going back to WWE. And Baron Corbin wasn't that bad, but he was obviously shouldn't have been a vocal point because Baron Corbin never had the physique or the character to try to captivate an audience for 3 fucking hours. I swear to God, they try to make this guy a GM, authority figure, major heel, comedic heel, broke, rich, dominant heel. The only thing cool about this guy was his finisher at the end of the days. And the deep six. Other than that, motherfucker was completely dull. And he was balding. looked half pregnant, and he was boring on the mic. Since joining the Indies, everybody's calling him underrated. When the most notable thing Baron Corbin did was put fucking dog food on Roman Reigns on the Friday Night SmackDown. That was still probably the worst moment I was watching back in 2019. Next to the theme song, "Are you ready?" Dun, dun, dun. Like WWE is so lack of testosterone, it pisses me off. 3-pointer, Josh Hart bricks. Are you ready for a good time? Are you ready for a 3? Oh, Mitchell misses. Spider-Man 3. Oh, it's good. Shout out to the animated series. You guys watched that. I was watching reruns back when I think it was on Fox. When Fox was airing cartoons on Saturdays, you got to see the Spider-Man animated series. And that's how I got introduced to Marvel Comics. I think DC Comics, it took the Batman Beyond series when that was airing on Toonami. Grant Cohen, the 49ers YouTuber, told his fans that he is hardcore because he was in New York eating chopped cheese, and also said that it's better. It's better than New York pizza. John Jay, I'm just gonna pretend that last part didn't happen. All due respect. That's just beyond repair. That's beyond help. I can't help that. I can't fix that. You can't make me. Chopped cheese is decent. First of all, chopped cheese is way unhealthy. It is so much of a mess. Unless you can season the food right. That's not even the best sandwich in New York. It's a staple, but it's the same thing as like a tomato pie in Chicago. That's not the best pizza in Chicago. It's dumb. Everybody knows that pizza's like probably the best part of New York. That's the most chains in New York. Next are probably Connecticut, New Jersey, and I'd say New Jersey also has great pizza, but not as good as at least the deeper parts of like Brooklyn or Manhattan or like Long Island. I would say Queens is like third best. Oh, you watched the? I love the anime series because it was more comic book centric. But if you want to see a better Spider-Man series, please, and I'm saying this for the younger generation, fuck the MCU Spider-Man. Go watch Spectacular Spider-Man. That came out like 2007. Watch that. Oh my god, that makes you fall in love with everything that is Spider-Man related. Or the animated series that came out like what, 95, 96, like late 90s. Because it's so more comic book centric. But if you want to see something that actually cares about the Spider-Man series and has everything to feel alive, watch Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh yeah, Batman the animated series as well, pretty good. Joker, I liked. I know this is a bit of a. This sounds like a. I like Killer Croc in the Batman animated series. He was super funny. A big rock. I hit him with a big rock. I remember one of my favorite episodes when all the Batman villains like Joker, Riddler, the Mad Hatter, Poison Ivy, and a Two-Face. They were all in a poker game going over how they almost killed Batman and seeing how they all nearly got him. That was probably the best. That was probably the best episode I've ever watched. Also, Batman Brave and the Bold. What is also another good cartoon for Batman fans out there. But the animated movies that come out are pretty decent. The samurai one I haven't seen, or they make him a ninja. They probably make him a ninja. It's okay. They also had Spider-Man and Friends. Not the one with Iceman and then the Flame Girl. It's the other one. Oh, that's also Ultimate Spider-Man. Good turnover by Mikal Bridges. Come on. Ooh, damn it. Come on, Brunson. They got a 5 on you. Blow by him. Yes. Pulling the Kyle Lowry offensive board. Put it back. Clean the glass. Let's go, Cat. The Bodega Cat completely. Off the screen. Oh. Landry Shamek gets a personal foul. We up by 10. We're still leading by 9. How come I feel like when Donovan Mitchell's off the court, they kind of do better? I'm not even trying to do that to be trying to like shit on them, but that's just they were literally in a 2-point deficit when Donovan Mitchell was in the tunnel and James Harden was taking over offensively. 8 of 22. Yo, I remember we went 2 of 22 from the field. Game 1, we were so terrible from behind the arc as well, and then we just cleaned it up. Strus for 3, missing. Yeah, remember when he was the unsung hero for the Miami Heat? Yep. I think Max Strus is getting the Joe Harris effect. If you guys don't remember Joe Harris, that's how bad it is because he was a 40% shooter from behind the arc when he was on the Brooklyn Nets, and then after that series with the Bucks, he fell off completely. Like he went to Detroit when they were rebuilding. Yikes! You came from contending with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to that. Oh, and James Harden. That super team fumbled like a Memphis Bleak album. They have the weirdest creative villains, but they make them work so well. Hush was also good as well. I like when they actually use the mysterious murder storylines with Batman, so you actually know he's a detective. They rarely do that nowadays. I mean, definitively they do, but it's like you barely see the detective uh, allegories for Batman in some even the recent movies. Who's the new Batman now? Robert Patterson. I think I think the villain he's gonna get is it? Ooh, I think they already told us, but I forgot. That's see, you see right there, son. That's the king of New York. I'm saying the Knicks win the championship. We're gonna be treating them all like Michael Jackson. Even Lane, even Tyler Kolak. You guys see how big Michael Jackson's music has gotten bigger after the freaking movie came out? That overtook that guy Drake. And all due respect to Drake, that guy hasn't been good in like 10 years. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just like I can never like his music because it never feels like he has any range whenever he raps. Oh, over committing after trying to get the turnover. Mikal Bridges defensive rebound by Mitchell Robinson. Brunson between the legs. Sidestep over the baseline. He'll kick out to OG. Battle between Sam Merrill. Picked up over Strus off the turnover. Merrill turns away to give it to Donovan Mitchell to set the screen over Shamet. Blow by up and under. It's good. Bridges. Sets the screen over Mitchell Robinson. Swings to OG. Attack the rim, and he gets a two-handed jam. OG Anunoby. Back to a 10-point lead with 4.5 remaining here in the third. Kenny Atkinson just trying to get the team to a spirit together, but you have like two black holes on the backcourt. And then you got to like sparingly try to keep Donovan Mitchell involved because nobody else is getting the rock. Look how open Strus is on that. Whoa! Yo, I can see why the Cavs are probably going to get a gentleman's sweep, gang. This is poor. Max Strus was so open. That's insane selfishness. And I thought Kobe was selfish. On the music, my star. That is a good pull right there, Crazy Juice. That's a good pull. I love the music. I sample Gorilla Grodd. Oh my god, it was like I forgot who the German clock guy was. I don't know if his name is Clockwork or Clockmaster or something. It was him. Black. Ooh, it was such a good song too. Also, the part when he was segmenting, talking about his childhood. On the music, my star, and everyone just funds. He's the music, my star, and we are all his pawns. It's all for me, it's destiny to be the master. I feel I need because I'm the music, my star, and I'm here to settle the score. And he was trying to control Black Canary. At the same time, hey, I don't blame him. Y'all saw Black Canary in that TV show? You'd give it all up to control the world for something, man. I'm just saying. And they had like a bunch of women on Batman, not just Catwoman. It was Black Canary and somebody else, Satana, the magic woman that has like a history with Batman when he was young, when he was learning the arts. Fade away, and whatever they keep spamming for his Tibetan monks. Clock King, thank you. Oh, come on, pull up. You're easy from the mid-range. Come on, Mikkel. Okay, pick up off Deuce McBride. He's matched up with Max Strus. Can't collect himself off the dribble. Going under the rim. Oh, you know who else was great in that show? Aquaman. Brave and the Bold. Aquaman was absolutely entertaining. I loved him. Super entertaining. You also saw Blue Beetle. You saw a lot more Blue Beetle. I think that's where people were getting the popularity of Blue Beetle until the Young Justice show that came out later. Not that far from the time Brave and the Bold was airing. But that's when people saw a lot more of Blue Beetle, and he started getting his fanfare. Barely any Robin in Brave and the Bold, too. It was predominantly just Batman. You saw, like, Booster Gold. I love that Batman was just mingling with so many DC characters, and especially Plastic Man. That's also when people were enjoying a lot more of Plastic Man's escapades because he was an ex-con, and he was like a former grunt of Kite Man, a basic level villain, and turned his life around after an accident. And that's how he became a superhero. What the fuck was that, Josh? Josh Hart just turned it over like he was afraid of like it had a new coronavirus. What was that? I know Landry Shamet looks like he hasn't showered in a week, but that doesn't mean you can't touch the basketball. Disinfect yourself later. Knicks timeout. Jesus. 85-72. Knicks are dominating. Oh. Wannabe. Oh, that's a good one too. Then they also reference the Grey Ghost. They also reference the Grey Ghost in the animated series as like a Batman inspiration why he became a vigilante. But that was a great show. Oh, a lot of Guy Gardner as well was in Brave and the Bold. A lot of Guy Gardner. Nobody likes that guy. Still. Irish Whip. Oh, double shoulder tackle. Oh, we got a guest here, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome John J. John J.
Yo.
James Brown. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong one.
I do want to correct something I said earlier in the chat.
Yeah, what's up?
Grant Cohen went to New York for the Giants and the 49ers game.
Oh, no.
And he went to Harlem, so he's hardcore now.
That's not even the toughest part of New York anymore, John J. Harlem hasn't been a reputable part of New York since like the 70s or 80s. Hell, even the 90s.
So he went to a place that said, I'm here at this great place that makes this thing that out here in the West Coast we don't have. It's called chopped cheese. It's better than a hamburger. Might even be better than a pizza. Grant Cohen for you. Now you know why I do not like this dude.
That is so inauthentic. You know, I love me a chopped cheese.
You know, because apparently he's now a gangster. I went to Harlem.
I love me some chopped cheese and some Timbs and a New York Yankee hat.
And then he had the nerve to put a New York Mets hat on as a joke. He's at the real New York
with some Timbs.
Like he knows what he's doing. Like he's trying to get a reaction, and he pissed off a lot of 49er fans in New York.
Oh, I don't know how you guys. I don't even know how West Coast fans are offended that he slandered New York culture. That's insane.
No. The people in the West Coast thought it was funny. I thought it was, but the New York, the people who are 49er fans in New York were not happy. They called Grant, "Yo, Grant."
Oh, I'm heavily offended.
He's like,
I'm heavily offended.
He's like, "This is the most tourist thing you've ever done, Grant. Unsubscribed." His comments were like killing him, and he's like, "Oh, all these New Yorkers, they must be sensitive," and it just kept going.
Oh,
he gets it from his dumb dad, who, for those who don't know, like his father is from New York, and he raised them in the Bay Area, and so his son, you know, is a rich kid who, you know. That's all I want to say.
Hey, you know, you can't shame culture vultures. They think it's cool, John Jay, but you know, it's still offensive.
Like I've met people from every part of the United States, and the most funniest thing that ever happened to me, there was a guy who was visiting from Queens, and he was telling me, I don't want to go back. I want to stay. I said, why? I don't like it in New York. It's too hard for me. I'm like, it's too hard for you. What are you talking
about? Our public transportation is actually efficient. I'm joking. I'm lying. But we have public transportation. I said we have it. I never said it's good. And now you got to pay $100 when you pull up, John Jay. So if you're
what
it costs to do it.
Even my local media is like taking like the subway or the whatever that train to the stadium is not pricey, but it does cost you. Now they're forcing you to pay like $150. I'm like, what?
God forbid.
I'm like, you want to know how much we pay for our monthly? It's called Fast Pass. For the entire month, it's 31 days. it is $90. If you do the math, it is cheaper because if you do like round trip, it's like $6 a day. It's about like $180. So you're basically saving like a good
thousands.
You're saving about a half that amount. But there's also a yep.
Whoa! Personal foul. I'm sorry, John Jay. I just saw.
Oh yeah, the game's on.
Jalen Max, one of the guys were pressing Brunson in the inbound and
I
got
saw
a foul.
it. Yeah, they knocked him down to the ground. Sheesh.
Yeah, but back like the transit. Imagine how it's gonna be on dynamic ticket pricing as well, man. Because yikes! Oh hell nah! After the screen, did he check him in? Oh god! Groin checking him after the screen coming from half court. We're now the Cavaliers think of playing like the Thunder. Here's the thing: you don't have Scott Foster. We don't have to deal with the refs until we play the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fade away. Jumper. Inside. Come on, Brunson. Who was it last touched by? Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, basically, yeah. In 1994, the World Cup was here. And you guys are having a deep playoff run. History could repeat itself.
Could be because of who we lost to, the Houston Rockets. I think that was that was Team Elijah one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was like around that time. Oh, wow. Did you guys?
And that was the time when did Michael Jordan? When this is like Michael Jordan's first retirement, 94. Was it 93, 94 season?
So basically, if I remember, it was 91, 92 when they won the NBA Finals. Then they won it 92, 93. And then, so basically after the 94, so the summer of 94, his father, unfortunately, someone took his life away. It really affected him. His father really loved baseball. He really loved baseball.
Oh, hold that thought. Let me just rush.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So almost the fourth quarter. Let's see who is going to win.
Sorry about that. Continue. I hydrated so much today.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like half a liter I'm drinking.
So basically, I was just saying, he's like, I have 3 championships. I've done a lot in the NBA. I'm going to go play baseball. There was a documentary that came out called the Jordan's like failed career or something where they talked about his baseball time. And so he went to the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the minor leagues because he wanted to play for the White Sox, not the Cubs, the White Sox. And he was not doing really well. But as the season was about to finish, like the remaining of the minor league season in 94, he started to get a hitting streak. He started to play baseball really well. He started to hit for batting average. He hit some home runs. Again, minor league, not Major League Baseball. And then the strike happened. And so because of that, he said, I'm going back to basketball, but there was a hypothetical if he was able to start in 1995 in the minor league system, he could have been called up like mid-season after the All-Star game just to, but no one knew what would have happened. But yeah, basically, like in those mid '90s, like the owners for the first time in baseball were pushed by the players, and that's why Major League Baseball, the players beat the owners. They beat the owners, and that's why they were able to start getting paid the salaries that they deserved. And so,
Well, this might be biased, John Jay, but there's one contract that I disagreed with, but continue with your point.
YTC's in the chat.
Oh, it's popping, YTC. We're up to quarter 4. 3-0, Knicks in 4.
That's what RJ said last night.
What, he's on the private chat?
No, last night.
Oh, there he is. I see him.
Last night, RJ was on TRL stream. They were doing a Call of Duty, and he's bringing that back for the summertime because I think he's off of school. And I was saying, I've never been a fan of the Spurs. The Oklahoma City Thunder are technically the Supersonics, so that's why I don't like that team, because they should be still in Seattle. And the only reason why they got a team there was because of Hurricane Katrina. Very sad thing that happened. I'm not making fun of that situation, but the New Orleans team had to play there a full year, and because it did really, really well, I think David Stern was still the commissioner at the time, was like, you know what? We're going to move a team. And New Orleans was like, you're not moving us. We have a fan base over here. He's like, you know what? Bye-bye, Seattle. You guys are a meaningless team. We're bringing you over there. Seattle had a great fan base. Yes, they weren't successful. They were like the Warriors. Good team, no titles. And so that's why I don't like Oklahoma. The Cavaliers,
all due respect, what's the point of the Sacramento Kings and New Orleans Pelicans? And New Orleans Pelicans, they barely even gravitate that much of an audience, especially how unattractive their team is.
Like what they could have done, and this is going to piss off LA fans who like the Clippers, which I don't understand. You should have moved the Clippers over there because you already had an LA team. Like, what? Come on, David Stern.
Michael Jordan did not gamble. Mr. Stern, we have footage. Michael Jordan did not gamble. Like, no one's saying that anymore.
Mr. The Cavaliers, like, I lost interest in them when LeBron left because, like, it's Cleveland.
Cleveland. And I mean, I like that they're trying to move away from LeBron James' shadow, because I understand that's a franchise legacy thing, and some franchises just want to transition to their own legacy. I don't think this is currently the stage where they're going to be that level. And I'm not saying that out of bias of being a Knicks fan. It's just, if you see the way the Cavaliers are playing, Donovan Mitchell is incredibly selfish.
And also, like I've never had any issues with the Knicks organization. I've actually, like, in the past, like, kind of like rooted for them that they have success, because they were like the Warriors in the 2000s, like a lot of losing records.
Yeah.
And also, like, I don't want to sound kind of messed up, but there was a New York Oakland rivalry when it came to their street ball culture, and so it was kind of a bit of like that connect, because I'm still in the street ball culture in Oakland, and the guys who are now retired from
Yikes. Yep. Sorry, I just saw an air ball by Donovan Mitchell. See what I'm talking about? What is that? And yet the biggest, what was the biggest highlight of the Cavaliers today, John Jay? Travis Kelce over courtside seats doing beer chugs with Taylor Swift.
Wait, Taylor Swift is drinking beer?
No, it's Travis Kelce. It's like I'm gonna throw my sorrows to take away from that air ball from Donovan Mitchell. 3-pointer, bang! Josh Hart, unlike John Starks, that can't be efficient from behind the. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so yes, a lot of those retired street ballers are now like married and like have their own homes and they have like their own like jobs. But they would tell me like in 05 to 08 when they would travel with the N1 mixtape tour and they had those street ball where they would go to the famous street parks around the United States. And I don't know what's the one that's in New York that's famous, but yeah,
Soccer.
there was an Oakland versus New York, and that game got so like violent because like again like for those who have never lived in New York, I'm not saying New York is like hard, but it's a super rough environment surrounded by like Northern Californian people. It's a rough area. It's like a weird island surrounded with a lot of richy college elites. Look at us.
Look at us. Wait, isn't Georgetown also from New York? Because Georgetown used to be that school. I think you remember how many Hall of Famers came from Georgetown.
Yeah, Georgetown was where the famous
The fallen giant of schools.
ITC says he's in it.
No, I don't want Gorgonzola.
I've been at Applebee's one time. There's not too many where I live anyway.
I brought my ex to a Applebee's. There wasn't a second date after that. I remember Applebee's used to be the quesadillas. The quesadillas over in Applebee's used to be my favorite part.
Oh man, that's what I should have had for lunch today, quesadillas. Because I was thinking about some quesadillas over the week, and because I was at my friend's house, he bought KFC, and I ate some, and I don't even feel good. Well, that's my fault for eating it. That's all he had. Like, dude, get some real food. Oh, I'm too lazy. I just DoorDash everything.
Oh no, bro, you gotta cook.
I'm like,
hell, even I cooked. I got some cottage cheese. I made my own cheese sauce, cottage cheese, some shredded mozzarella and cheddar. That crap, unbelievable. With some pasta. Hell, I just saved up a lot of money. That you know how much was just for the pasta, the cheese, and just some chicken? Under $20. And that stuff is gonna last me the next couple of days. The only thing I'm gonna probably spend my money on is probably the Uber to the gym after this.
I don't like taking Uber, but the taxi companies are like very few. I don't know what you guys have, but in San Francisco we have this thing called the Yellow Cab, and that's the only cab service that's left, and all the other like small we used to have a lot of mom and pops taxi, and like we had like these mini what they're called limousines companies where it was like a cab service for like people who like couldn't afford to like get those real limousines. And my dad worked at the airport for so many years, and we used to ride in them. They were super cool, and they were owned by mom and pops or like those little small companies that were with the city. Yeah, we don't have. So Uber, I hate taking Uber because you have a random person, and then they're like, I don't like to talk, so shut up. I'm like, dude, don't talk to me that way. I'll slap you in the face. My bad. Let me compose myself.
No, that's me. Well, that's why I don't want to take. I hate taking Uber too, John J, because I still have an issue getting my license, and that's the only way to go around. Like my gym, I have to probably drive there, or hopefully, or get an electric bike. I heard an e-bike is also good. I probably don't even need a license for an e-bike, and it'll probably take me around 15 to 20 minutes to make it there. By if I had an e-bike,
Mm.
because I'd love to go there by myself so I can get some work done. Hell, that saved me some money because all I have to do is just charge it. Because I don't like spending $20 to go to the gym and back. That's completely irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the way I need it to go because the local gyms don't have a basketball court where I'm from.
There's a gym that's it's like a private company. It's not like owned like from either the YMCA, the 24-hour fitness, and all those companies. It's called
LA Fitness too.
it's called City Gym. Anyway, they have basketball courts like in the top floor, and it's like meant for like half court. Um, and so most people sign up like the $80 a month just to play basketball because a lot of public funded basketball courts and basketball gyms are being rented out by all these like private school companies. And because soccer, and this is the reason why I hate soccer academies, maybe I hate it. They rent the fields, and then the community's like, hey, where are we supposed to play? Hey, we paid $100 to go fuck yourself. Excuse me, you're lucky that you're not here 20 years ago because someone would slap you in the face. And again, maybe I'm just bitter, and I'm projecting my negativity. Okay.
I wouldn't say completely, but it does happen. Emotions do take over that time.
Because I remember when I was a kid, you wanted to do sports, boom, there was a park. And people were like, hey, let the kids play. We're adults, we had our time. Let the kids play, Like the adults were like super cool. Let the kids play. We're old.
They have Sunday leagues. Hell, have you seen those clips on YouTube with the 37U football teams? Where you see unction, the 37U football team is literally the unction to the max. It's like, John Jay, remember back in 08? Yeah, I'm putting back on the pads. You join me. You can play kick returner.
Sheesh. All the people who I knew who played in amateur or semi-pro leagues, I wouldn't say that they like would have been in the G League, but like
that's not a bad stage.
Many of our those stuff are dead now because now you have like the dad leagues, the dad softball leagues, and like these like boring like company leagues, that.
Oh, pickleball. So I hate fucking pickleball.
There was this dude who played at a school called St. Mary's College, which is in the East Bay, further east from Oakland. It's a Catholic college, and so, but the people who go there are not, but it's still that's why it's called St. Mary's. And he was a 4-year starter, like he was dunking and all that stuff. He did a tryout, and apparently not what the NBA was looking for. So at 22, he's like, crap, I wasted my entire life trying to be a pro, and now I'm a failure. But there was a semi-professional basketball at our famous, which is where the Niners played, the old Kezar 49er Stadium. There's a thing called the Kezar Pavilion. And he, for like 5 years, was like dominating, like, against other guys who were also college and like former high school standouts, that, like they had awards. And these guys were ballers. Today, the ballers are like, nah, those are the old days. Like, that's why semi-pro and amateur leagues, like you took pride because you weren't making money. It wasn't your job, but you went to a crowd, people watched you, and they're like, and kids were like, that's my dad, and he's dunking. I want to be just like him. Like, there was a pride to it, community pride. Not anymore. Today, like, you got these like companies from like the tech sectors, like they do softball leagues, and like these dads were like, we came from privileged backgrounds, but we want to play softball because we suck at baseball.
Oh, if I was because you guys had pussies, but all due respect.
Damn. YouTube.
I'm sorry. It's never. Look. I understand softball is a reputable sport. Hell, my mother played an amateur softball before she went off to, have a future. And sorry, but besides that, like, there's no way you guys are grown ass men. And it's like, hey, John, you want to play some softball? We can get the boys together. We can play some softball. I would tell you to get off the pills, the estrogen pills, pick up a mitt and bat, and now throw the ball like you have some sense. We have Randy. You know how old Randy Johnson is, and he can still hit an 80-yarder?
Mm-hmm.
And he's older than dirt. Don't you dare be scared of throwing it overhand. That pissed me off.
Yep. I've been watching a lot of soccer podcasts, and there's this like arrogant dude. He's from Southern California. On his resume, he was part of the LA Galaxy Academy until they fired him. And so he's been bitter. And so because he's bitter, he's like, I hate MLS. They fired their best coach. I could have won Los Angeles many titles. And so he shits on MLS. And then he talks about the most dumbest things. The only way we make better soccer players in America is not in America.
You can. The only issue is the foundation to develop more youth, because they'll just go abroad to just flesh out their skill. I hate how pessimistic, because the U.S. has shown that they can develop youth talent.
Well, it's not.
But it's just a way that it's done that it's just not efficient to how Brazil can just find the next 16-year-old phenom in just a matter of 6 months.
So one thing
unfair.
I push back when people say, number one, it's become lucrative when you have an academy and you have a player that's 15, 16 who's.
Oh, wait. Sorry, John Jay. I'm sorry to cut you off. Just want to make this one point. You know why we struggle to find the youth talent that we have?
Why?
You said it before. Because this is such a pay-to-win system and this is such a rich man's game. We have less poor people. And when there's less poor people, there's less imagination. So you see how we came from having top-class NBA players every season be American-born from these rural systems that had not barely the AAU circuit play a factor unless you were a prime talent, where the high school system was predominantly more important than developing over touring systems like AAU, to now young NBA player, young talent. If you have to establish, you not only have to play high school basketball or AAU basketball, you also got to play overtime basketball, some super high school prospect pro league where young players can get paid to develop over a system. So it's more high class notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you're an underage youth that needs to develop your skill, you just go over to the academy. 3-ball, Landry Shamet. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's there to develop from like further to establish you as a pro mature player. Oh, but now I get Gilbert Arenas' kid that got to take my minutes because they're paying him $800K a week.
My point is like this. You're an academy, and then you have a 15, 16-year-old who's outperforming everybody else. There's two options. One, Major League Soccer is going to take you and put you in their MLS Next Pro, and they said you can go to school, but you can't play high school anymore, which MLS needs to take that away because it provides better playing. But at the same time, most people are like, well, that doesn't pay my athletes. And these academies, because they're run by money, they sell them. Because these academies, when a team from Europe takes them, they pay. And so you go to the pay to play model. So all of our guys who are in Europe, about 30% of them were in the MLS system. What did MLS do? They sell these guys because that's what the commissioner has said. We're a selling league. And so when you have the academies that are, effing up, and Major League Soccer, there's like, hey, he's talented. He's 17, 18, 19. Look, you have a kid from Philadelphia who's 16, but
if we have the foundation and the owners to actually develop high wage premier level soccer, you could even add more of the promotion relegation league, even though it doesn't establish the franchises. But hell, it's there to add more risk and reward, and it pushes you at the same atmosphere in a different format how the other teams play, even though it's it's more financially threatening.
Well, the problem, and I've always said this, if you're going to do it, it has to be a closed system, because like the recent owner in San Diego put $500 million. He still has to make that money back, and he's not going to get that money back anytime soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, John J. I'm celebrating right now. That's back-to-back.
Yep. I think the timeout. I think, yeah. So the point that I'm trying to say is that our players are good because they've been playing. It's just that, what do the other countries do? They sell their young guys. Like in 2025, the Brazilian guy Endrick was playing 3 years in Palmeiras since the age of 15, 16. But Palmeiras even understands the concept. Hey, I don't know what, I think Real Madrid paid the club a fee of millions of dollars.
70 million big ones. I remember 70 million euros, because he was like the big young prospect that was next to like the Barcelona kid.
And then they had this other dude, which I forget his name, who was signed to Chelsea. He's still in Palmeiras.
Esteban.
He's still in Palmeiras, but after this World Cup, he's heading to Chelsea. And so,
oh no, he's there right now, Esteban, right?
I think so. Again,
yes, he's on Chelsea right now.
Yeah, so if he's at Chelsea, that's the kid I'm talking about. So here's the point. This is not something that's a problem. The entire world does it. And I don't know if you ever heard of Bielsa, the Uruguayan national coach, who's Argentinian. During the Copa America, he says, number one, this Copa America is all about money. We're playing on surfaces that our players are not used to. In South America, we don't have dome soccer fields. The infrastructure in South America, of course, is not at the level of the United States. And, he's acknowledged that. But at the same time, when a lot of my young players on my Uruguayan team is asking me, where should I go? Should I go to the United States or should I go to Europe? And he said, do you hear what my player said? Do I go to MLS, which is going to pay him good money, or do you go to Europe? And so he was basically complaining about how the model is that they have been doing this a long time. We in America should not be doing that bullshit. But because we have so horrible development, college just decided to do, you know what? We're not doing what we've been doing for 50 years. We're now we're going to do this. Regular season in the fall, conference championships in December, you take the winter, and in February, you do the NCAA tournament for soccer.
Does that even get good attendance? Because nobody talks about it that much. Nobody talks about
because
soccer.
College soccer is only a 15-game season, and then after that, if your team sucks, you're done. And so that's a problem. While you are still practicing for 4 months, you're only playing 15 regular season games, and it's not like college football. It's soccer. You have your conferences, but the power schools in soccer are schools that in other conferences are like the Sun Belt, the MAC, the the AAC and the Mountain West, and then the FBS schools that have the power programs. So that's the problem. It's not the big schools that are doing really well. California, the only college that does well in developing soccer players is UCLA. Because again, everyone goes to UCLA. It's a charter school, like where everybody wants to go. It's
By the way, is like how's the NAL? How's the NAL established, or it's not in the soccer program because the funding is predominantly the bigger
also
sports?
Landon Donovan got criticized by these dumb soccer podcasters. Oh, this guy is a professional who actually played in the national team and was successful. And yes, he played in the MLS, not in Europe, but he doesn't know nothing about soccer. The guy who actually scored 57 goals in 150 something competition and is an MLS legend. I know, not in Europe, but he's still a professional soccer player.
And he was captain for the men's
You know,
U.S.
I
national
do
team.
believe if Jurgen Klinsmann, was
Oh, sham it again! Oh, foul. Let's go.
if
Sorry.
Jurgen Klinsmann wasn't up his butt about promoting like the super dual nationals and mostly stealing the German players, and again, I don't have any ill will towards, and it's not the German players' fault for putting the jersey on. Jurgen Klinsmann over Germanized the American soccer program. And so after that, the coaches have basically been saying, hey, let's not bring Germans. Let's bring in dual nationals from the other European countries, which is still the same fucking problem. But if you talk, oh, you're anti-American, you hate people from other. No, don't do that. We're not jumping into this. You're basically going to a non-sports argument. Okay. And so that's the problem that these people, and some of these people are just a little bit like, if you're not saying what they're saying, they're going to accuse you of a non-football argument. And that's the thing that really drives me nuts. And again, your team should have players who are born in the States. I have no problem if they go to Europe, but an American versus a dual American from Europe, a kid like a German American, I've never been to Germany, so I don't know anything about Germany. But if you're an American, you're taught at a young age when you're playing sports that that term like on Instagram or TikTok or social media, that dog in you. If you don't have that toughness in your right there,
if you don't have that dog in you,
and I'm not saying that Europeans are soft because European people are tough. I'm just saying that American toughness is different than toughness from other parts of the world. Okay, there's a reason why the NBA banned, the culture. Allen Iverson, we need you to wear a suit. Like you have tattoos and you scare some of our fans.
We don't want you to act like a thug out there.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, John J, you don't know how much of a vendetta David Stern had because of how much of the culture change Allen Iverson gave to how NBA players dress weirdly now. Shout out to Allen Iverson because yikes. The David Stern, he had, if only he put that much energy to how much he was defending Michael Jordan over the gambling accusations back when journalists actually cared about their job and actually had a reputation for it, to how he hated Allen Iverson and just gave him a suspension all because he felt like that. I think he suspended him also when somebody was braiding his hair in the middle of a game.
Oh man.
We can't have LeBron James get sick.
Like I know you probably don't know a lot about the Kings, but there's a guy, and every time I say it, people tell me, John, don't say that, you might offend somebody. It's not my fault that people called him Jason Williams. His nickname was White Chocolate.
White Chocolate. No, I know Jay Will. He was on the Miami Heat 06 team.
So he was not a star, but he had street ball handles.
He was fun to watch.
Ooh, but the guy who everyone always, even an old dear friend of mine who doesn't live here anymore, there was a guy called Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby was criticized a lot. He says, hey, you're a guy who is white, and you're dressing up like you're from the streets. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? And so that was the problem that the NBA had. They did not understand their players, because there are I have a lot of people who I know who are like poor, like ghetto white, like okay.
Oh no,
They're
you
good
know
people.
how black. Because Jay Williams was he had such an urban street culture
Yep.
in integration with him, and also I did not know Randy Moss basketball team was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they played together in varsity.
And so that's the problem. And so they started to tell their athletes, you know what, you guys are being paid millions of dollars. You guys can afford suits. And then we're going to make you guys do press conferences like professionals. And so, and again, I don't want to sound like, like the old, like old people, but I'm not trying to say that this generation of athletes are soft, but compared to today, a lot of these players have gone to like those basketball
Oh no, they're all
academies.
really privileged. I'm aware. They're all
Yeah.
really privileged.
And then the Suns.
Nowadays, the NBA players can have their own media. They can have their own branding. They can have their own HR. Everybody had to use Gatorade, John Jay. You know what happens now? Steph Curry now has to sponsor a different energy drink. Everybody is their own brand now. And that's because of what paved the way from back in the day. Because back in the day, you had to only represent one brand. You only had to wear one thing, or else you had to get fined. Like Michael Jordan. Back in the day, people were calling Michael Jordan's shoes ugly. They weren't calling. The NBA media was thinking that the shoes were ugly. They weren't considering anything. They tried to give a color restriction to it because it had to be based over on your team colors, and then Nike had to bite the fines. And nowadays, everybody can wear any shoe they want. Even doesn't even have to match the uniform. That was because of back in the day as well. So I would say like rebellion from modern day NBA is how the NBA is how it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's out of rebellion.
I remember Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, has a podcast with this other dude who's like he's first generation American, but he says his parents are from I don't know if it's from Haiti or Jamaica. It's one of those like these soccer companies that just popped out of the blue. And for whatever the reason, Chad Johnson is always there. They had Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith had the nerve to say, I love what Silver's doing, the commissioner. He's doing what soccer does. We need to have the NBA be like the Champions League of basketball. And also, we need to forget the American players and, do like the
When the fuck did he say that? You got Stephen A. is xenophobic as fuck. Didn't you say he said that as soon as Nikola Jokic won the MVP? He said Anthony Edwards should be the face of the league.
So anyway, that's how you know Stephen A. Smith, just says the stuff.
Disingenuous French poodle looking ass motherfucker doesn't know shit about basketball.
And so apparently he had a conversation with Silver like 5 years ago. And he's like, hey, do you watch, soccer in Europe? We have a lot of European basketball players who are soccer fans. And then because of that conversation, a few years later, let's create this weird tournament during the season that still counts on your record that makes no damn sense. And then you win a title in December or January or whatever.
It's December.
Like, come on, man. Like, basketball is basketball. Soccer, let the Europeans do what they've been doing for nearly a century. Okay. Also, baseball is still America's pastime, but because we're unable, and I know a lot of people don't like Barry Bonds because like the steroids accusations. I've always been consistent with Barry Bonds, but when it comes to what he said, when I was a rookie, I can name like all-star black baseball players. This is what he said. Today, he said from the top of his head, in today's baseball, I can't even name another player outside Mookie Betts. And he tried. And he even looked at a lot of like no star, and many of them are in the minor leagues. It really shows you how baseball has changed in the manner that we're doing the same thing that soccer does to our athletes, and we're doing the same thing that basketball does. When did money become more powerful than the development and the next generation of athletes? This is the thing I tell stupid soccer fans. You're not going to create 100 Christian Pulisic, you morons. That is rare. Okay? That is rare. If you're able to create 100 soccer players who can have careers, and they may not be the careers that you want, that's a plus. There's a reason why you cannot have 100 LeBron James or whoever's considered the best basketball player right now. It's impossible.
Wembanyama.
It's impossible. Okay? That's why the soccer people, oh, you don't say that. You're not including people. Well, there's a reason why when I was a kid, the coach was like, all right, you're cut. And I don't care if I hurt your feelings. Cry to your parents. Tell your parents to come over here. You're cut. You're not a player. Find another sport. We cannot do that anymore. Basically, if a parent pays, I'm paying $150 for my kid to be on the school basketball team. But my child is trash, but I paid the $100 fee. And there's a kid who deserves it, but his parents are like, we need that $150 to fill the gasoline or pay an electric bill or have groceries. So that's more important. I'm sorry, son, or sorry, daughter.
Put down, this is my dream. You know what else is my dream? What? Waking up with lights into the next day, son. Get your ass on the cart and work on your left.
Dave Chappelle said it perfectly because he lived in like a decent part when he was a kid in Washington, D.C., like a decent part. And all the people who lived around him, all those kids had bicycles and all those cool stuff like, that kids had. And his dad, he had the nerve to tell us that, yo, Dad, I hate being poor. We never have anything. And his dad was like, hey, don't you ever call yourself poor. What we are is broke. It's like, and basically Dave Chappelle explained the joke was like, wait, I have a house. Most people who are like me live in housing projects or like the poorest of the poor. We have a house. We have 2 televisions. And we have stuff in the refrigerator. And I go to public school. But then he basically explained, yeah.
Let's go. Sorry, John Jay, to cut you off. 3-0. 3-0. It's over.
Oh no, Spudgy's like, no, John.
Cleveland. James, this is not a record. This is a sightseeing trip for you. Cleveland, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, what? Philadelphia, what? Clippers, what? Houston, what? Conference final wins, 1. What? You suck in the playoffs. Practice cone ass defense. Practice cones. Mikal Bridges didn't even take a shot from 3 and we won. I told you, John Jay. He had to take a old Warriors Legends playbook. Don't play like like you were in Phoenix. Play like Sean Livingston. And guess what he played like? Sean Livingston. Mid-range never worked. You just had to use mid-range was never outdated. It was just need to be smarter. And it worked. We dominated the Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell just chucking the ball up like it owed him money. And he wasn't even the highest scorer in the game. You know who it was, John Jay?
Who?
Evan Mobley. When's the last time you saw Evan Mobley go for a 20-point game? Please, Evan Mobley, go for 20 points and get out-rebounded by our guard.
Mhm.
Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart leads in the rebound still. Yes, he does.
So Spongy needs to apologize because he said that number 11 of New York is ace.
Oh, I can take. Let me. Oh, my fault, John Jay. Let me get that cheesesteak real quick. Hold on.
No,
Let me get that.
John. I don't care. He's still ace, John.
Our our starting shooting guard out rebounds your front court.
It's all about
Carl
Joel Embiid.
Oh my God, Joel Embiid.
I like Spongy.
You mean the fake African trader Patrick Ewing ripoff Joel Embiid? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I was thinking this would be a short series, depending on who would play the dumber basketball, John Jay. But oh my goodness, we might have a full week of a break of basketball. Come, I think game 4 will be Tuesday. Oh my goodness. While aren't the Thunder leading by 2 games right now after they took game 3? Oh my goodness. Landry Shamet looking like Seth Curry. Not Steph. I'm not going to push it. But Mikal Bridges looked outstanding. Brunson dropped 28 points. Looked phenomenal attacking around the rim. We were way more efficient than the first 2 games of the series. That was the best part. And Towns, I don't know what's gotten into Karl Anthony Towns. He plays like Nikola Jokic at certain parts of the game. I am so proud of him. This is probably our best performance. And John Jay, you know how good our track record is against the Cavaliers? Oh God,
But
Charles Barkley has the broom. Charles
oh,
Barkley got the broom.
jeez, I
Oh my
remember what was it? Was it 2 weeks ago?
YTC then put some grabba on the whatever Clevelanders eat.
So 2 weeks ago, I was trolling Spongy and said, "Yo, hey Spongy, I just want to remind you, Mr. YTC has a message. Knicks in 4," and he's like, "No, John, Sixers in 7," and they got swept.
Oh no, you don't get it. You don't. It's the 6-7 joke that kids are doing nowadays.
No, John, we're
Oh
gonna come
no.
back and win in 7.
Sixers and 7. Stupid. YTC, we've done it. One more, and we just gotta rest until the series. I hope we don't pull a Pat Riley. I think Pat Riley was coaching the Knicks last time we made it to a championship game, and he said they sent the whole team over to Vegas. That did not go to our favor against Houston.
Yes.
And oh my goodness, I have never felt so proud, John Jay.
Mm-hmm.
This is our first time since 94, 95. We had back to back 50-win seasons.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Draymond Green, what the hell are you doing here?
What did Draymond Green do this time, John Jay?
He,
Was he
he's
talking
on
shit on
he's on the
another
panel.
former
He's on the
NBA player?
panel. He's on the panel with Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley and the other
Oh.
dudes.
Hey, oh yeah, he's on the panel right now in the post game show.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Draymond, do you miss this? What, making it to a conference final? I'll kill you. Oh, you know.
I remember he was like, I was about to retire. He was on a podcast. He's like, I'm on a podcast. And David Stern set me down and I said, I don't want to play basketball no more. And then David Stern said, there is 75 million reasons why you shouldn't retire. And then I was like, yeah, there is 75 million reasons. My pocketbook. That's why you didn't want to retire. You did not want to lose all that money, you dumbass.
Yeah, I don't blame him. If you're telling me that, John Jay, it's like, I'm ready to play, coach. DST, you were literally limping your way out of the car. And oh, that must be nice. I mean, if I was Dray- Draymond, I'd give it up. I'm joking. Hell, do you think you would move on with Draymond at this stage if you're trying to develop outside of the Steph Curry era? Because there's only so much you guys could even still do with the aging acquisition you got with Jimmy Butler. Are you even trying to give that another whirl?
I've been saying that for years. Like that weird season where we started
Mm-hmm.
off like 15-0 and then we beat the Boston Celtics. After that, if you're the owner of the Warriors, you're like, all right, let's trade away some of these guys. Let's do a farewell contract for uh, Steph Curry. If he wants to play up after the contract is over, let him play. And we had
Mm-hmm.
a lot of young guys who we were drafting who were really good. But no, Steve Kerr was like, I don't play rookies. I don't play rookies. And so look what you've done now. You basically exhausted all the young guys who were really good. Jordan Poole was pretty good. He was averaging, good numbers. Okay. Wiggins, I understand, was not an elite player, but you had to take those young guys, pair them up with a veteran like Wiggins, and start to dismantle that team. What the problem was is that Wiggins started to play like ass, and so I was like, crap. And so that plan went down the drain. But now
All
you're
right.
seeing
Well,
it.
well, John Jay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to make this accusation because we know how common it's been over the past few seasons. You think he pulled Terry a scary Terry parlay on himself to underperform?
I don't know, but he was not playing well, and so that's why we traded him away. Draymond Green punched. It was Poole,
Jordan
even though
Poole.
even though it was Draymond Green, Kerr protected him. Well, let's make up a story where like Jordan Poole was criticizing one of our veterans who, and Jordan Poole didn't do. So basically, you threw him under the bus, and then you got rid of him. And then when the season ended, oh, all jobs come to an end. You don't do this forever, and everybody was already talking about who's going to be the new coach. And then a week and a half later, we signed him to a 2-year extension. Do you really think our owners are realizing that we can bring in these old veterans from other NBA teams, pair them up because they used to be really great players when they were younger? It didn't work with Jimmy Butler. It didn't work with Al Horford. It didn't work with Chris Paul. What are you
I
doing?
didn't know what was the option of getting Chris Paul there.
And so, and then he was hurt most of the time. So the owners are like, people still want to go watch Steph Curry, so let's try to rack up as many millions that we can. And so
That's practically the only reason.
I cannot wait when the Warriors are like, all right, Kerr, he's 100% finally gone. Uh, Once Curry actually retires, which I think he's going to probably retire at 40, Draymond Green will be forced to go because he's not young anymore, and he's only there because there's some fans who like him because he speaks the truth, and every time he fouls people, those people deserve it because they were like being disrespectful. No, you don't know
Mm.
shit. So I cannot wait for all the fake Warrior fans to go back to Los Angeles and root for the Clippers and the Lakers because I'm still
Oh
going to
yeah,
root for the team. The only
they're
good
probably
thing,
gonna root for the Lakers a lot more because of Luka Doncic.
the only good thing that will probably happen is that ticket prices will go back down to what they were, and all the fake. Oh man, I don't want to go to the games no more because we're not winning. I only was a Warrior fan because we were winning. So
Hey, hey, there's always a silver lining to that. You get a real Warriors fan. There's always a camaraderie that goes around when your team sucks, and you can share that with the locals. Unlike when you get the bandwagons, and I remember there was a lot of bandwagons. Yeah, there was probably a lot of Steph Curry fans. A lot of people were inspired by Steph Curry in the modern era of basketball, but it's like now you get real Warriors fans back where it feels like you guys actually have a community, even if you're good. Like, feel like the teams that actually still have a real fan base, but they were a decent playoff team, like when the Blazers had Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum leading the team, like that type of fan base. And now you're probably going to have that over the next 5 years, where you actually have a real fan base, but you're going to struggle. God, what a game! What a game! I mean, a terrible game for the Cavaliers, but oh my goodness, we you don't know how I'm if game 4 and we shut them out, John Jay, I might cry.
I think RJ says if they win, he's probably going to go live. So we'll see.
Oh, not complain.
Crazy Juice says. Crazy Juice says, I don't acknowledge these fake fans.
Acknowledge me.
Well, they are your original fan base, Crazy Juice. Because remember, I said this to Corona. I've said this to you. Who else is a Laker fan? I think I said this to Terradome. I even said this to Rudy. When you guys were ass, people started leaving the Laker fan base and became Warrior fans. They're not my fan base, so take your fan base back.
And well, John Jay, here's the difference. We always had the fans from Brooklyn. We always had the,
like
I remember Brooklyn Knicks Day.
What year was it? Was it 2014,
2013?
When whoever bought the Knicks, no, not the Knicks, the other team, the Nets, and he said, the owner, I'm a Russian businessman, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna be the real New York team.
36-year-old Kevin Garnett, 35-year-old Paul Pierce was going to help you guys win 30 games that season. You guys didn't even get Ray Allen because he retired that same year.
The only thing that they accomplished was they moved the team from New Jersey to Brooklyn, and they built the Barclays Arena.
Now they want them back at Jersey. I don't blame them that they want them back at Jersey. Jersey was actually fun. They were just struggling the time when they were about to move because they thought they could compete over as a big market. Even though they made it to NBA championship games more when they were in Jersey, when they had Chris Paul, they had Carey, they had Richard Jefferson. And now Vince Carter was a bit after, but back then they were just a French fifth seed team. But yikes. Brooklyn Nets, and it sucks too because I like some of the players they had on the Nets currently, but they would be better off just doing something else. But it never feels like they try to push a foundation. They're like anybody else that comes from outside, from a small city to New York, and they think they're gonna live a comfortable life here. Rent's gonna be due every fucking month, and that's gonna cost your entire paycheck. Nets don't want that struggle. They had no struggle, especially when one of your big conglomerates was Jay-Z. Jay-Z was a big figurehead in the front office of the Nets. And they didn't want to just push a foundation. They were thinking immediately, hey, let's get washed up superstars and make the Boston Celtics one of the toughest franchises in the because the Boston Celtics, they were having their aged out core around the early 2010s, and trading them away for the Nets. That was a new franchise after the relocation. It's like, oh, let's establish ourselves so we can get over some tickets. So King made that whole move just to get a major attraction, and now the Brooklyn Nets are responsible for the Boston Celtics' resurgence as a contender. Thank you for Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. All thanks to incompetence in the Nets franchise for barely a conference finals appearance and washed up James Harden. Yeah, thanks, Brooklyn. Go back to New Jersey, where your jerseys aren't just black and white. It doesn't even feel so New York. I never get why they want to push over the Gotham aesthetic so harshly, and no fans are into it. Hell, people were chanting Jalen Brunson MVP in Barclays Arena. Yeah, they were chanting more Jalen Brunson than they were their own Nets players. Because there is no OG Nets players. You have no Nets fans. I recommend, if you still want to stay in New York, go to upstate New York. Hell, you guys were called the New York Nets before you went over to, and you can still relocate and push over to New Jersey, or you can come over to be called the Long Island. Never mind, just call yourself the New York Nets and move to where the Islanders play. You get a more definitive where you're not competing with the bigger market. You still get the upstate appearance, and plus you can rush over and actually get yourself a fan base because upstate New York does have basketball fans.
Mm.
And plus, I live near this arena. It's way more convenient. And plus, it's near Belmont Racetrack. Oh, no one wants to go to freaking Brooklyn where the traffic is hectic. You see a lesser franchise. And you're trying to compete over to the big market, and all it's going to do is just going to force you to try to get out of the shadow of the Knicks. And now I think getting Bobby Portis, Julius Randle in an offseason instead of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Because the Knicks are never shown to be that desperate of a franchise to force themselves as a big market. Because even if we suck, you still got to prove yourself that you're worth something. Like how Carmelo Anthony thought he was worth every fucking penny of that triangle offense, chucking up the ball and not playing any defense. I'm sorry. I understand the Hoopers love Carmelo Anthony. I hated the way Carmelo Anthony played basketball. I hated it. I'm sorry, John Jay. I know there's a lot of OGs out there that love Melo. There's fans out there that gonna think that Carmelo Anthony deserves to get his jersey retired over guys like Nikola Jokic up in Denver. It's that bad. Just said, whoa, that's a death sentence if I ever heard one, Crazy Juice. That's a death sentence.
Vancouver?
We did this before with Memphis. And now everybody wants Memphis Grizzlies to go to Nashville. That's actually a fair relocation.
So, Memphis is one of the expansion teams for Major League Baseball. And if they don't want the basketball team there.
Oh, what you ever they had a name planned out?
So basically, the commissioner has, I think, like,
why not Nashville? What's wrong with Nashville? Isn't that a bigger market over in Tennessee?
they don't have a baseball infrastructure. Memphis has this thing called the AutoZone Field or Stadium.
Get in the zone.
That has like over 10,000 seats. So in Memphis, you're able to renovate the stadium to get it maybe up to 30,000 for Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And so, and their farm team is like considered one of the best in that area for, like, Atlanta and Tampa Bay and the Marlins, but I don't think they're associated. But I think they're much closer to, I want to say, St. Louis. So maybe they send a lot of their talent over there. Portland has a baseball infrastructure because they're for whatever the reason, they're building a minor league baseball stadium. And so they're a destination for the West Coast. Even where McNiner lives, well, he doesn't live in Salt Lake, but he lives like in the mountains further from the area. And so they have what they're called is the Bees, their minor league team. And so what they're looking at is infrastructure that has quality minor league stadiums that have full capacity that could be expanded very quickly and easily. So, because the last expansion was, I think it was the Colorado, no, it was the Arizona
Colorado
Diamondbacks.
Rockies?
No, it was
Oh
the
no, it
Arizona.
was the Diamondbacks.
It was the Diamondbacks, and I forgot what other team.
It shouldn't be the Montreal Expos. It should be.
Oh, it was the Marlins. So basically,
Oh
the
yes, thank you.
it was the
That was
Marlins.
2001, right?
So it was the Marlins. It was the Rockies in 1992, and they started playing in '95. Both teams, and in just a couple of years, the Miami Marlins won a title, and then the
Oh, and the
Arizona,
Tampa Bay Rays. Isn't the Tampa Bay Rays a younger franchise?
yeah, in the same thing, and so then the last expansion team was Arizona, which in their second season, the YTC doesn't want to hear this, but in their second season, they won the World Series. So that's
I've
about
been
it.
waiting a whole time. So yo, this is brutal meme. Oh my god, the Cavaliers. You know, every time we beat the Cavaliers in the playoffs, John Jay, it ends in a double-digit deficit this series. Brunson at 30, Mikal Bridges at 22, 21 points, up 7 boards.
Nashville will host the Super Bowl in 2030. I've heard that that's a possible destination.
Oh, that's not bad.
There's a possibility where Super Bowl 70 to another decade will return to the Bay Area.
Don't worry though, John Jay. You'll be there for it.
I'll probably by then I will probably 100% disappear from YouTube. They're like, where did that guy John Jay, who used to be the 40, he disappeared?
John Jay's in the Barbados, man. John Jay found Tupac.
Listen, I'm going to continue to say this, and it's nothing personal, but if I find a significant other, I'm done with YouTube. I do not want her to know that I used to goof around on YouTube, on streaming, because then she's going to look at me. Do I even know you? Who are you? Are you one of those
Grant
men?
Cohen, honey? Who's Grant Cohen?
Are you one of those men who used to go online and cyberbully women?
Oh my god.
Oh man.
No, I just had a obsession with Grant Cohen. Tim Duncan. I keep forgetting Tim Duncan has grown out his hair. Oh boy, that it looks like Tim Duncan retired and chose reggae instead of basketball. No, he's a surfer dude now.
Anyway, I got a missed phone call. I gotta go check that out. So I'll catch you later.
Well, John Jay, appreciate the time, and Knicks in 4 forevermore.
Yep. I'm out.
Taylor Swift's the whore. Thanks for showing. Oh my god, we've done it! Whoo! Oh, and the Vision retained the. God, did anything change in this Saturday night main event? Because the Vision retained the World Tag Titles after the Street Profits just returned, and then you had Becky in a DQ finish with Sol Ruka because she hit the Soul Snatcher on the referee after she didn't see it coming. You couldn't even have her get pinned. And then Penta retains. It was a good match between Ethan Page and Penta, but it would have made more sense to give Ethan Page the Intercontinental Championship. There is nothing wrong with having a title change to at least move something up in the show. Pentagon with the Intercontinental, he could be a multi-time IC champion. Stop feeling like you can make underwhelming short title runs because you know you guys can just interchange it back. Hell, you had it was the weirdest retainment. Not even that, because we know Penta's good enough to retain the Intercontinental Championship against a guy like Ethan Page. I get it. Why the hell did Paige and Brie Bella retain when these bitches have no right retaining against women like Nia Jax and Lash Legend that are 2 times their size? I did not understand that logic. Well, we know Paige is more of a solo star anyway, and we know Brie Bella, she gets more screen time with her sister. Why you need them to still be together holding the titles against two women that should overpower them and no outside interference? We keep forgetting that wrestling is sorry. Wrestling is wait, wait, wait. Wrestling is fake. It's okay to have a title change once in a while. You guys are making this your super show, and it makes it feel like I'm just watching an extra episode of Raw and SmackDown. But it's worse. I'd rather have a Danhausen segment with more little people and a Brock Lesnar return. Just devaluing that retirement speech. You don't even have him wait 6 months. You could have had at least Obafemi face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. No, we were probably going to wait until Clash in Italy. I saw that clip. It's like, damn. That's writing on the wall that you guys just had no idea what you're doing. If you wanted to do 50-50 booking to try to get over Brock, why not just have Obafemi dominating the entire couple months? Ridiculous. Amateur hour again, because yet again the writing team is ChatGPT. We know damn well it's ChatGPT. El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser got arrested. Yeah, I heard that news. Wasn't that like a week prior though? He's still under contract, is he not? That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only interesting thing in wrestling right now. Ludwig Kaiser getting. I think he assaulted somebody. I think it was due to assault, but that's the only impact he's getting. Yeah, Cabs look defeated. Jesus, and it sucks too because I like Ludwig Kaiser. I feel like he shouldn't have got away from Gunter because Gunter's doing nothing now. Remember when he retired John Cena? Yeah, nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. You know how crazy that is? Remember when The Undertaker beat remember when Brock Lesnar beat the Undertaker's streak? It's like beat, streak, repeat. Eat, sleep, beat the streak, repeat. They kept trying to push that to your head because of how big impactful that is. That pushed Brock Lesnar's stock to something to the nth degree where you're always going to see him as world champion. That's how you're supposed to establish it. Obafemi should have been trying to be forced to be a manager. People would have forced to put him in tag teams. Everybody wanted to challenge him or at least push him. Everybody looks like a fucking pussy on the main roster. You know how sad that is? You had Rusev trying to push off, but we know Rusev was going to be established as a jobber. Same thing with fucking Sheamus if he even comes back from whatever honeymoon he's from, bro. Oh my god. Oh, and Rey Mysterio is a manager. What do you mean manager on AAA? Like, is he like an authority figure? I mean, hell, it's something that he can do outside of wrestling. Hopefully, Rey Mysterio does a good job. Don't waste my time here. My time. I want my close-up, baby. Don't waste my time. I was here to prove the world wrong. If you guys remember who that from, you got ball knowledge. Hey, freaky on Nia Jax getting fed food I didn't even know Camille was Carmella had some nepotism within her. Be honest, do you miss Ava from NXT TV? Absolutely not. She's too chopped. I didn't even notice that she started off wrestling before she became the GM of NXT. She sucks, she's ugly, and she's boring. You have to pick a struggle, gang. All due respect, the Rock's daughter should not have the Rock's look. So let's just keep it at that. Well, the guy deserves it. He was talking trash about Ludwig Kaiser. Must have been Tiffany Stratton's simp. Why you think Ludwig was in my DMs, Charlotte? Oh my god, I still remember that clip when it was a shoot reference to Charlotte Flair's off-screen divorce to Andrade, and Charlotte Flair got so pissed off that she actually did a shoot promo on Ludwig Kaiser, allegedly being involved in a DM talking to her until that was proven false by Ludwig Kaiser. Which pro wrestler instantly makes you change the channel, Baron Corbin? If it's not, it's Ilya Dragunov. Great wrestler, but he's super dull. Oh, who's this guy? The Dancing Gorn. AW and WWE have the same problems. Main to upper mid card, Randy, Roman Reigns, Rhodes, Randy, Punk, MJF, Darby, Sami Zayn, Rollins, Mox haven't changed on their gimmick since 2020. Also, oh yeah, I can see that. Jada Parker, damn. LA Knight, what the fuck, dude? I know they're 40, but they're still workers. Oh no, Gunter. If we had a whole show oh my god, if Gunter was revolving around the entire show, WWE would be up to 1 million viewers. That's it. I don't mean they'll grow to 1 million audience wise. I mean they'll go down 1 million audience wise. Because Gunter, he's only good at chopping, slapping, and giving power bombs, and that's it. There's no heat that goes with Gunter. He's a great stiff worker. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. I was almost gonna block Crazy Juice by accident. As long as Rey Mysterio doesn't book everyone in a tag team match. Oh yeah, Familia. You're gonna have your El Grande Americano and the real El Grande Americano. We're gonna have another 6-man tag. Senor Mysterio. That's like the 16th in a row. Oh, I know. For a 2-night AAA Mania, Familia. That's where the 2-night event's starting, right? For AAA Mania. It sucks too because I do like Lucha Libre. I want to see more Lucha Libre shows. If I'm just not a fan of the tag matches. Hell, I don't even see why it's 5-star reluctant. It doesn't feel like everybody gets over in the tag match because everybody just gets their shit in. It never feels emotionally significant whenever they do these tag matches. Cringehausen, the Elite, Becky Lynch, and Gunter. Babyface Becky Lynch is probably the weakest part of 2019, and nobody wants to admit it. And this was awkwardly the point when they even turned her heel, but she was over. And yet, the time they made her the babyface of the company, less people were caring. More people cared about the tease of the Fiend in 2019 than they cared about Becky Lynch being the face of the company. Let's keep it a buck. They should have pulled that trigger back in 2018. That's their fault for feeling like, oh no, it's good shit, pal. When you're over with us, you get heat with them. What? Yeah, I never get that wrestling logic. I feel like the internet sometimes ruins the way guys get momentum. Cody, stop talking. I still remember that promo with Arn Anderson. Just basic. I know he was trying to motivate Cody Rhodes, But he was like, "You look at you. Oh, don't hurt me. But if it was me, I'd grab the Glock and then spill his brains for the concrete." Now I'm witnessing Arn Anderson with a do rag trying to say that out loud. Oh, I Show Speed. I Show Speed's okay. You give me Baron Corbin on television for 3 hours, I'm gonna shoot something, and it will be myself. Because I have never felt so disinterested in a TV show. And I remember so many people were trying to glaze Baron Corbin because he wasn't a black and gold favorite. You would still be a boring piece of shit on television. I don't give a fuck where you came from. I hate that assessment because he was getting heat. He was getting turn off the TV heat. There is no such thing. Turn off the TV heat means you suck on television. Even after the Attitude Era ended in Triple H, everybody wanted to see Triple H lose. He was the new heel. Was he the face of the business? No. But I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see guys like Chris Benoit, Rob Van Dam, Shawn Michaels knock him out of his perch. And that was the best parts of the WWE around that time period. So I don't want to hear that. That's a ridiculous statement. And the way they even try to dictate that with Baron Corbin, they made him everything. Tag team specialist, lead a heel faction with the most random heels to lead, like Bobby Lashley and McIntyre. Don't get me wrong, great wrestlers, but it just doesn't feel like it correlates at all. Like at all. That's like a pineapple pizza. Great when set. I'm joking. I was about to make a Reese's joke, but yeah. And then they had Baron Corbin that just looked like shit. Not where it's like he gets heat because he looks stupid, but he could still beat you. But he just looks like shit. If you guys remember, was it Constable Corbin or something when he was like the GM? He was an authority figure with Shane McMahon. He was like a co-GM with Shane McMahon. And brother started dressing like the principal from Danny Phantom. He looked fucking awful. And they thought that got heat, but when he was talking, nobody was reacting. Well, nowadays, Dominic Mysterio grabs a mic, nobody would let him talk. That's crazy development of heels nowadays. Whereas, like, you guys want to go back to that? Don't get me wrong, Baron Corbin's not bad, but he's just not a guy where you can carry your television show. Thank God for that, because I remember watching 2019 WWE was so poor when they thought I wanted to see more Kevin Owens in the main event, more Sami Zayn on the main event. Hell, WWE fell off every time they turned Seth Rollins to a babyface because we know that motherfucker wasn't over. The only thing over about Seth Rollins was always his theme song and his wrestling style, but never him. Seth Rollins is the equivalent of Chris Jericho than he is to Shawn Michaels, and I will follow that to the day I die. I will always keep him on the roster, but I'll never make him the star that he thinks he is, and I will hold that to anybody that thinks otherwise. Triple H only fucks with him because of NXT. We know that for sure. But if Seth Rollins, we proved that he wasn't a main eventer. 2019 was the biggest sample example that he's better off just getting heat, becoming a great wrestler, upper mid card, intercontinental champion. Hell, that was his best title run, not his universal title run, his intercontinental championship back at WrestleMania, I think 33. Or no, it's 34 when we were in New Orleans, I think, in that triple threat match. That was best Seth Rollins, not dumbass Kingslayer Seth Rollins. When we tried to force feed him to beat Triple H, and nobody remembers that match. When he's doing that maniacal laugh, when he's trying to get the heat, when he was talking shit and talking over Matt Riddle, talking about his separation from his wife and how you can't see your kids anymore. That's the Seth Rollins that works. You can't even have Seth Rollins be a faction leader. He's a Chris Jericho, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because I think fans always have a perception of success in the business where you think like you always got to be a predominant key piece of TV to have a successful career. Seth Rollins already has a successful Hall of Fame career. It's just never at being the leader of anything that makes Seth Rollins works. Because if you want to see a 15-minute Seth Rollins promo without a more important superstar in the ring, let me tell you, it's not going to work in your favor. I still remember when they thought Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler, the main event of pay-per-view, was going to draw. I don't think anybody said that the match between Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns was bad, by the way. Because I swear, I think some of you guys reminisce also more on the babyface Roman Reigns push more than you guys do for when they tried to make Rollins a top babyface after he came back from his injury because of that incident that happened at that house show with Kane. Because remember, he missed WrestleMania 32. Then he came back to be a major player as a babyface when he won back the world title, and then Ambrose cashed in. And then they tried to push him as a major babyface, and it was Kevin Owens being the major heel with Chris Jericho. God damn, that was when Raw got super unwatchable. And they were already not caring about the brand split as soon as they implemented it back. And nowadays they're still doing it. We're 10 plus years since the rebrand split has happened, and yet nobody's gotten successful. You can't even establish who's a SmackDown guy or a Raw guy now. And now we have too many belts. That's another issue. AEW has the same significant issues. Hell, I'm saying that you guys need to add stipulation divisions or weight classes if you guys want to make yourselves more sports centric. So that's crazy. I grabbed the Glock. Damn, Nia Jackson, Lash Legend. First of all, watch your mouth about Lash Legend. That woman is beautiful. Sami Zayn. Yeah, nobody cares about fucking Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn could barely work for any other era in WWE. You can put LA Knight in like the Ruthless Aggression era. Hell, you can put Danhausen back in the golden age. Hell, people don't like Danhausen. Danhausen could work in any era of being comedic lower mid Carter character. Hell, I would say he got unwarranted heat all because they thought it would be a bigger superstar over in Backlash. And now, look at him. That guy always gets screen time. Even MJF self admitted that, oh, he's always going to be something great. He was such a sports entertainment centric wrestler. Obviously, that was going to work for a guy like Tony Khan, that obviously predominantly cares about your in ring work than you just doing more with less, like Danhausen. That's incredibly gimmicky, completely comedic, and obviously this guy wants to be on a cartoon. And that art is so lost with certain characters out there, even outlandish gimmicks. Hell, even Leo Rush got an outlandish gimmick now. Brother, some man-eating weird bug character with white eyes, maniacally laughing, giving himself some type of Willow look, but he's doing crazy move. Like that's the gimmicks that will get you attention. Hell, you can even push back and get Rick Bugenhagen back into the character. Bring back the corny gimmicks, and you can still push it in with the in-ring work. WWE always had the capacity to make it entertaining television, but they just always like just pushing it because AEW is now declined in viewership. They still need competition out there. Hell, with the resurgence of with even the returning Lucha Underground, that's possibly not going to happen because I think it's under the control of TKO. And I'd love Lucha Underground to come back. That was what saved me from 2014 Monday Night Raw after the "I wish you died in the womb" segment, and Seth Rollins. My God, I hate Seth Rollins. He's a great wrestler, but I just can't stand him. Not because he's a good heel, it's because the nigga's completely boring. Like, you can't tell me a segment you can do with Seth Rollins and be like, either than the match, I can't put him in a segment. Nobody wants to like. I'm the visionary. Your wife disappoints. Your wife doesn't peg you like my wife does to me. Oh wait. Shut up, Squidward. So Seth Rollins' voice reminds me of fucking Squilliam Fancy Worth sounding ass Seth Rollins. Knicks in full. Oh, the goodbye wave by the Knicks fans overcrowding the Cavaliers arena. You forgot this is a road game for the Cavs. Oh wow. Evan Mobley's I show speed. Rick Ross is James Harden. Oh no, this is brutal. This is worse than the Arch Manning memes after a poor performance. Oh my lord. Top 10 most hated wrestlers: JBL, Triple H, Randy Orton, the Iron Sheik. Is this who hates like wait no additional ranking based on heel? He okay, all right. Roddy Piper, that's fair. Edge, The Miz, Sergeant Slaughter, Chris Jericho. Okay, how about to say like who hates Roddy Piper? I would say hot take here. 09 Randy Orton isn't the best Randy Orton. Don't get me wrong, I had some good memories with 2009 Randy Orton. 2006 to 7, I'm not even doing that for the meme, was very entertaining. From like rated RKO to the time he was WWE champion. When he was beating up and punt kicking John Cena's father after Unforgiven, to his segments with DX, the incredible homophobic. I can see why they don't stream it. Oh, I'm the visionary Pina. Crazy juice. No. Yo, I wish I could like your comment. I wish I could. I wish I could like your comment. Hold on. Damn it! Can't do. There's no gimmick that makes me do that. Sorry. That's outstanding. Oh, JBL was a great heel. He's what happened if JBL. If Donald Trump actually had respect. Roddy Piper was a great heel, but people just it's just so difficult to dislike him because he did such a great job. Iron Sheik was phenomenal. Sergeant Slaughter, I would say political wise, the time he was heel back in the what was it like 91 when he faced Hogan, when he became like an Al Qaeda sympathizer, not Al Qaeda sympathizer. Oh yeah, Chris Jericho was a phenomenal heel, especially 2008 9 Chris Jericho. That was my favorite Chris Jericho because I grew up with him, calling everybody a hypocrite, walking like he just came out of his second trimester with his love handles. He had his best matches. I loved his feud with Rey Mysterio back in 2009. Even though his feud, he also got major heat after punching Shawn Michaels' wife. Like that was probably one of the best segments, especially the Jeritron 9000 when he hit Shawn Michaels' head on the Jeritron 5000. Great segments with Chris Jericho when he took off Rey Mysterio's mask to get the roll up and pin him to become Intercontinental Champion for a record 9 times. So many great segments, especially how he cashed in No. He got cashed in on. My fault, because I remember it was Jack Swagger, and that's the downfall of the heavyweight title. We came from Edge, Chris Jericho, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, Kane, Jack Swagger. And now that brother is doing Power Slap. It sucks. I feel like Chad Gable could be in that potential of being a top heel or a top babyface. The guy has the range. I feel like the best performance is his biggest weakness, and that's currently El Grande Americano. And I'm not saying the gimmick is bad. I'm just saying it's overdone. There's always gimmicks like that. Hell, you could. It's gonna be the same way Shane Helms felt when he was thinking that the Hurricane gimmick was gonna be his entire life. I mean, basically it was. But besides that, come on. Who? Remove the worst running back from this list. Emmett Smith, LaDainian Tomlinson, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Gary Payton, or OJ Simpson. Legally, it's like, I don't want to catch flack, but I think we need to make a smart business decision. I mean, you got to say OJ. Two reasons: Eagles till I die. AI pick of you doesn't even look like your ass, man. Emmett Smith. That's not even Emmett Smith. That's the sergeant from The Rookie. Emmett Smith in this AI picture looks like TPS. That looks awful. You can't just crop photos of these real life players and just put them in an image and say, which of these running backs would you use? Complete the list of every WWE Grand Slam. I don't even know why John Cena even had to be a Grand Slam. I don't even find that prevalent to why he had to win the IC title than to just check a box. I mean, a bucket list is a bucket list, but damn. Wait, Jeff Hardy's a Grand Slam? Oh, yeah, he did win the United States Championship. Stop AIing pictures. Worst player on this is Donovan Mitchell. Brother didn't even make a conference finals, and we're going to do mask versus mask, El Grande Americano versus federal offense. I'm joking. Two gringos are going to have the biggest match in Mexican history. Conan would be so proud. Which duo are you picking? Shaq and Luca, LeBron and Steph, SGA and Akeem Olajuwon, or Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. All due respect, but you got to make your team as perfect as possible to hide the flaw that these guys are ball dominant. I'll pick Luca and Shaq, even though Jordan and Kobe would be a close second because I'd love to see them together. But the worst part about this is they both play the same position. Both Kobe and Jordan are both two guards, while like LeBron and Steph are so flexible on the floor. So is SGA and Hakeem, and so is Luca and Shaq. Like the flexibility is there, even though Kobe is like significantly taller than Michael Jordan. But I guess that's based on perception. I don't know what type of responsibility both players could operate in because they both played in systems that worked on just them being offensive heavy players. Battle of the Zesty in the finals. Will it be the Thunder and Knicks? Jared McCain, the TikToker, versus Jared McCain. He dropped 26 off the bench. Yo, Sixers. Who do you owe money to allow your second best guard on the team to go to the Thunder? And I bet it wasn't because of cap reasons. That's just so unfair. I hear voices and the biggest dynamic duo in the NBA. Bigger than Jordan and Pippen. Bigger than Shaq and Kobe. Bigger than Kyrie and LeBron. Bigger than Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. It's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and the officiating. Oh, wait, what did you say? You disagree? 2 shots for SGA. 2 shots. SGA in the playoffs is like James Harden in the regular season, if we're being honest. All fully healthy. Which player got to go? Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know what happened. Damn, even the Roman Reigns had a mugshot? Disorderly interaction. DUI, of course. DUI for the Usos. Battery charge for. Hey, yo. Jey Uso looking too zesty on this picture. Brock Lesnar for steroid misunderstanding, marijuana. That's such a silly law now, where you get a marijuana charge for Liv Morgan. DUI for Kurt Angle, and Jeff Hardy for drug possession. And didn't he had a DUI back in 2021 when he was on AEW? Jeff Hardy's like the big brother you always want to be, but you know what flaws he has. It sucks to say that, because I love Roman. I love Jeff Hardy more than I love myself sometimes, bro. Which fully healthy you gotta go? Tyrese Halliburton, if fully healthy, he would have been the best guard again of the year. Second best guard or third best guard. Behind probably Cade Cunningham, I'd probably get rid of Donovan Mitchell. It's empty calorie offense. While like Cade, Brunson, and Halliburton obviously has that distributing factor, and they're way more efficient from long range, even though the inside game from Cade Cunningham's a bit better than Donovan Mitchell. But back in the day, you would have went Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, because he had that raw potential, because there's always been an injury issue with him when they were rebuilding, and Tyrese Halliburton because he was on the Kings. He wasn't getting much game time. I hear voices in the air. Millions, I don't care. And now they're calling him Halliburton because I guess he was eating out his feelings after what happened in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It sucks too. I like Tyrese Halliburton. I just hate that he beat my team. So get well soon, Tyrese. I really hope you do, so I can beat you. So the Knicks can beat your ass. Because obviously, I think he was taking that medication to recover from his Achilles, and obviously, I think is over depression for what happened during his injury, because his team needed him, and he's probably very like depressed, so he wasn't taking care of himself. I really hope he's doing well mentally. Like I'm not even trying to be joking wise, because obviously, imagine your biggest memory in your career, your team behind you, you're the best player. You were this close to upsetting what could have been the biggest team to beat in the NBA in history, and you tear your Achilles in the middle of a hot streak scoring. Imagine that type of stuff that goes to your mind mentally. Because I know a lot of audience members don't think of the mentality of an athlete, because that's so much responsibility to be given that you guys just sweep that up the rug. But that's a human being right there, bro. I'm not even trying to play around. That's just sad. But the Oh God, what happened to Halliburton's eyebrows? I really hope Tyrese Halliburton. Like, God damn, I'm not even trying to joke. Hold on, folks. Can we look at this image real quick? Oh my goodness, what happened? I think this is an interaction with the streamer Ray. If you guys know him, he's with Kai Cenat sometimes. So he was doing this content with Ray. Look at Tyrese Halliburton. Oh my goodness, what happened? I think that double chin is disappearing, but the poor bastard just. Why does he look so roughed up? They found a pink shirt friend sitting beside in white pants at OKC Thunder. Oh, that has nothing to do with the image right now. But oh my God, Tyrese Halliburton, he looks absolutely abysmal. Looking like this to looking like this is absolutely depressing, man. Brother was doing this while having a signature shoe, and now he's coming up with this double chin.
Shingles right now, face shingles. And I haven't been able to get rid of it. I've switched my meds like 3 times, and I've gotten a Botox injection.
He had a
None of it has
Botox
helped.
injection.
And the new meds, side effect of the meds is that I'm always hungry and weight gain. So, so it's making me gain weight.
Yikes!
And you know the problem is, I said when I did LeBron's podcast on Mind the Game, I said I'm the heaviest I've been right now. I'm bulking. I'm strong. I'm lifting all the time. This is good. And then face shingles hit me, and so now the bulking has turned into just I'm just bigger for no reason. So now they're killing me on social media. I've seen I'm being called Tyrese Halliburger.
Oh, come on. I didn't see that one.
That's been the
Pat McAfee said it first, folks. Pat McAfee said it first. Damn. Ew, ew, why does he look like he's a entourage for Paul George in this image? But, you know, all prayers go out to Halliburger. I did not mean that. I did not mean that. I apologize to Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, get well soon. I'm sure coming back from that mental anguish does a lot to the body. That's why he was like overeating, taking the medication so he can get back to the court as soon as possible. But you know, type shit. Oh God, looking like an obese SpongeBob SquarePants with the cardigan, with the brown pants. Yikes! Every big Timberwolf leave to win the championship. Kevin Love did back when he joined the Cavaliers. To Kevin Garnett back in 08 when he joined the Celtics. What other former Timberwolf? Oh yeah, Andrew Wiggin with the Warriors. Well, Towns joined the cycle. Please, I'm begging. Nah, nigga, who made this? Obviously not a Giants fan. Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, and New York Epsteins. Oh God, SmackDown versus Raw 2006. You shoot a basketball and you hit the opponent with the basketball. Oh, backstage brawls used to be the highlight of the video game. The Knicks have the biggest chance. Hell, they have the deepest playoff run out of most of the New York franchises, except probably the Yankees that made a World Series championship game like last year. So take your best shot. No Tigers games, no Tigers losses. I hear voices in the air. The referees versus the New York Knicks telling me to listen. That's the only matchup that matters, John. Oh, hell nah. Oh man, we'll probably see the Champions League final. I think it's the 31st. Also for the Champions League final between Arsenal and PSG. I'll put a poll if any of you guys are interested. I understand that my audience is predominantly like either American sports or wrestling, or cartoons. I know I have a lot of cartoon fanatics here, but just in case you guys want to talk about some soccer, always a welcome environment to trying to get myself more involved over to the sport. But yeah, tomorrow morning is going to be the final day of Premier League action. Manchester United versus Brighton, Burnley versus Wolves, Crystal Palace will be the final game for Arsenal before they hoist up the Premier League trophy since 2004. Fulham versus Newcastle. Most of the games are just a battle for championship, for just a battle for Champions League football or European football to stay in the middle of the pack or go down to the second division. But Leicester City's going somewhere different. Yeah, remember Leicester City? That team that did the impossible back in Parley Market? They would have made a lot of people broke. Now, these guys going somewhere different. The third division of English football. League One. They're going to League One. Yet Leicester City, the Foxes are going to League One. With instead of Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez, and I don't know what happened, man. I'm not even trying to make a joke. Just a brutal mismanagement of a club to even land to that. Because you know how much money they probably established themselves to have? And now it's back to... Now you have guys making like tens of thousands of dollars a week to facing off against lesser competition. They're probably going to sell some of the younger guys too to just make a profit. That's sad. Matt Cardona, I'm not finished. I won the Intercontinental title, the US title, the tag titles, and now I'm in catering again. I mean, I can be WWE champion. Yeah, he's just less over. Yikes. Yeah, I don't even know what they're going to be doing if they keep forcing more. I don't know what they're going to force still with Matt Cardona because they don't even have him in much angles since his feud with Trick Williams. No, he was feuding with Kit Wilson. Yes, he was feuding with Kit Wilson over toxic masculinity, and since then he was main event, or the dark match show before they air Raw. Oh hell no, nah, man, that's disrespectful. Stefan Castle looking like John Amos. Isn't he from Welcome to America? That's disrespectful. Nah, you don't roast a man like that. Kawhi Leonard to the Los Angeles back to the Spurs for De'Aaron Fox, Luke Cornett in a 2029 second round first round pick. Returning back to the Spurs to help the young bull with and the that sounds like a fever dream, but it sounds like it must happen if the Spurs can't go as far as they should, because it just took them 3 seasons of Wembanyama to make conference finals. And you get somebody that already had that championship experience with a young team that could actually perform and have the youth assets. Hell, they just need to kill that De'Aaron Fox contract and probably give a young uprising player. Hell, they might not even sacrifice. They might sacrifice Keldon Johnson, or they might sacrifice Vassell just to push over the cap space so they don't have to give an unnecessary extension. And you get a former 2-time NBA champion. So it wouldn't surprise me. You know, what's the saddest thing about this also? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was in the same draft class as DeAndre Ayton. Let that sink in. The Suns are the saddest franchise I've ever seen. We're gonna close it off here, folks. I understand some of you guys need some sleep. Tomorrow, Sunday, I'm gonna clear off my table. You guys have a great night to yourself. Thank you guys for showing up for the stream. Knicks in 4. Your mom's a whore. Grab her on some on your chopped cheese. Oh God.